And it's going to be a terrific hockey game, no question about that. Chris Ryan standing by between the benches. And Chris, what do you look for here tonight in game number 2?
Yeah, so Hartford's coming into these first 2 games here in Manchester knowing they need to win 1. And they didn't win game 1, and they are going to come out very strong here in game number 2. And the thing that stood out to me the most, through that game number 1 is that this Hartford team is very, very good. And the best team, as you would expect, but the best team the Monarchs have faced so far in the postseason. They can play very well with the Monarchs. They match up well with the Monarchs as well in terms of size, speed. And the Monarchs need to play a crisper, more focused contest here tonight.
J.F. Berube defending the goal to our left. Jan Denis off to our right. Monarchs win the face-off. O'Brien, center ice, plays it left side to Kempe, broken up by Lindberg. Lindberg with it over the line, has it poked away. Monarchs recover. Miller has it. Being chased by Haggerty. Schultz sends it all the way down the length of the ice. Played behind the net by Jan Denis. On it is Bodie. He sends it far side to McElrath. Poked into the neutral zone, knocked down by Bodnarchuk. Kempe has it, center circle, over the line, right side to Shore. Shore, side of the circle, throws it around behind the net. McElrath on it for the Wolfpack. Now Loverty knocks it down in the neutral zone. Loverty sends it into the Hartford end of the ice, knocked down by Bodie. On it is Horivik. Drops it off. Bodie plays it ahead, knocked down by O'Neill. O'Neill's pass deflected off the end wall. McElrath with it, battling with Mersch.
That's the battle to watch tonight.
Now McElrath with it.
McElrath and Mersch. Who wins the net front tonight? Hartford knows they need to knock Michael Mersch from out front.
Now puck is loose near side. On it Wheel. His drive deflected off the end wall. Puck is loose. On it is Mersch. Has it knocked away. Kept alive by Wheel. Behind the net to O'Neill. Brian O'Neill with it. Bumped along the wall. O'Neill still with it in the trapezoid. His pass deflected by Bodie. O'Neill throws it out in front. Stolen by Klingberg. Klingberg with it in the neutral zone. Backhands it into the Manchester end of the ice. Loverty to Wheel. Broken up by Horivik. Horivik plays it back in his own end to Shea, who sends it far side to Kostka. Now in the neutral zone, it's played ahead. Deep into the Monarchs end of the ice by Joey Crabb. Now puck is loose along the left wing boards. Wound around the wall on the far side. Vandergulik battling with Horivik along the end wall. Now up with it is Backman in his own zone. Backman sends it into the neutral zone where it's knocked down by Kostka, the former UMass Amherst defenseman. Slides it far side. Kostka gets it back. Now on it is Chris Bork. Bork in the neutral zone at the red line. His drive played by Berube, and he hangs on outside of the blue paint. And we get our first stoppage in play. We played 2 minutes and 12 seconds of period number 1.
One of the things the Monarchs have to watch in this game is odd man rushes, because this Hartford team is one that will take a couple punches. They give up some puck possession in the offensive zone, but they are a great counterattacking team. They had a couple breakaways, which they missed the net on in the last game, and a couple more odd man rushes, which they weren't able to capitalize on. But just when you think you have them pinched in the offensive zone, your offensive zone, their defensive zone, they're able to counterattack.
Over the line, Dowd left side. Dowd tried to hit Gravel, but he fanned on the shot and stolen away by the Wolfpack.
And Dowd had the shot left wing side, and selfish in that instance, and gave it on back to Gravel, who whiffed.
Christo wraps it around the wall on the far side. Puck goes into the neutral zone. Wolfpack throw it right back into the Monarchs end. On to Forbert for the Monarchs. Plays it ahead to Dowd, slides it across to Gravel. Gravel at the red line, plays it in deep in the Hartford end. In the trapezoid, poked away by Wheel. Puck is loose in the right wing corner. Now on it, Bodie. Bodie plays it ahead to O'Donnell. Now Allen sends it in off the far wall. Miller collects behind his own net, wraps it around the wall on the near side. We're scoreless. We played a little over 3 minutes of period number 1 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Miller on it.
The hitting really picking up on this particular shift. Auger out there taking the body, and that's going to be a big part of this game as well. The physical nature. Both teams are going to try to establish themselves.
Now McElrath chips it into the neutral zone. Klingberg plays it back to Bodie. Bodie sends it in behind the net, stopped by Berube, leaves it for Jeff Schultz off to our left in the Manchester zone. Schultz plays it far side to Shore. Shore with it in the neutral zone. Now sent in deep by Kempe. Denis throws it into the corner, and up with it far side is Klingberg. Klingberg chips it ahead, but the puck goes out of play onto the Hartford bench on the far side, and we have a stoppage with 16-14 remaining here in period number 1.
Yeah, Haggerty's been drawing the ire of the Manchester Monarchs so far in this contest, and the guys talking to him on the bench as well, and he's been throwing the body out there, and that's, as I mentioned, going to be an interesting aspect of this game. Game 1 was largely a non-physical type of playoff hockey game. There's certainly a lot of physicality, but it wasn't as physical as a lot of the previous games, and this one, as the hate starts to reach a crescendo, it will be very physical.
Shore broke his stick on the faceoff. Puck loose. Up with it, Koska. Pass deflected, and up with it now is Lindberg. Plays it back to Koska. His pass hit a broken stick. That was Shore. Shore's shot, and a save by Denis with the glove.
That was the only lineup change that the Monarchs made, moving O'Brien from the quote-unquote fourth line up to the second line. Actually, the line that started the game tonight was Shore, O'Brien, and Kempe. And also interesting as well to have Auger drop down to play with Bissonnette as well as Crescenzi to form a huge, huge line. And Kempe, who we're going to talk to a little bit later, is really interesting. Guys have been trying to get under his skin. I don't know if because he's 18 years of age. I don't know if he is, if he's physical nature of his play, but guys are talking to him, and he doesn't really seem to have a lot of use for it.
Now O'Neill behind the net. He goes down along with Bodie. Puck is loose. McElrath has it stolen away by Wheel to O'Neill. O'Neill back out to the line to Loverty. Now Bodnerchuk with it, throws it off the end wall. Rebound taken by Mersch, throws it right through the slot, kept in by Bodnerchuk. Now O'Neill with it left wing side. Bumped off the play by Crabb to Harivik in the neutral zone. Harivik plays it right side to Bork. Now Bodie left circle, his shot saved by Berube.
Great job by the Monarchs getting back too in that instance as Hartford had numbers. JF makes the stop.
Now over the line, it's Loverty. His drive deflected. Puck loose along the end wall in the trapezoid. Down are Mersch and Loverty. Now Bodie on the puck.
There's not an inch of ice to be had out here so far in this one, Ken. It is an extremely physical contest as I nearly get nailed by Harivik.
Now it's Bodie behind his own net. We played a shade over 5 minutes. No score here in the opening period. Game 2 of the series. Monarchs lead at 1-0. Mueller over the line. His drive knocked down by Berube. Cleared to the corner by Gravel. Now it's Dowd with it in transition.
Numbers 4-on-3.
Vandergulik over the line left side. His pass is deflected. Puck loose along the right wing wall. Backman with it. Backman along the right wing wall. Wraps it around the wall.
The recovery in positional hockey has been really good. Both teams have had chances with an extra man, but both have played them tremendously well.
Now Miller with it in his own zone to Backman in the half moon. Backman's pass off the stick of Dowd. Chased by Hughes. Dowd is right there. Puck loose. Allen tries to clear. Now Dowd sends it to Miller. Colin Miller. His shot is deflected. Now with it, Bissonnette throws it down in front. Stopped by Denis. Now Bissonnette side to the right circle. Back out to the line. Left wing circle. Crescenzi's shot is blocked. Now Bissonnette with it. Bissonnette drops it off. Far side giving chase is Hughes. He's bumped on the far side by Crescenzi. Monarchs keep it alive. Auger with it. Auger in the slot. Auger for Miller, right circle. Miller pulls the trigger. Save by Denis. And he covers it up just outside the blue paint.
You have Auger, you have Bissonnette, you have Crescenzi all there. And a good shot by Miller to get it on through. Love that setup. 13:43 to go here in the first period of play. Monarchs and the Wolfpack scoreless. Back with more for this on the Monarchs Radio Network.
Dr. Joseph Sheehan, DDS, has been a dentist for your Manchester Monarchs since 2001. Specializing in family dentistry, Dr. Sheehan now offers the CEREC one-day crown system, where your crown is done in just one visit. Other services include prevention and treatment of all dental diseases, needleless laser dentistry, and promoting overall dental and oral health for all ages. Located in the Manchester Mill Yard at 155 Dow Street, Suite 401. Call Dr. Sheehan at 603-623-0641 to schedule an appointment. 623-0641.
Morgan Press is a proud supporter of the Manchester Monarchs. Why not let Morgan Press be a proud supporter of your business? For over 30 years, Morgan Press has been delivering quality work at a reasonable price. Morgan Press, for all your commercial offset and digital printing needs. Please visit our website for more information. www.morganpress.com. That's www.morganpress.com.
Bye.
13:43 to go in the opening period. No score. Monarchs and the Wolfpack, game 2 of this Eastern Conference final. The Western Conference final will get underway tomorrow evening. Utica hosting Grand Rapids. Shore and Lindbergh on the draw. Right circle to the left of Jan Denis, who spent some time in training camp with the Manchester Monarchs this year.
Played in the lone exhibition game in Manchester over at St. A's against the Portland Pirates. We saw a lot of Portland this year, Ken.
That we did.
Yes.
We
We're very
19 games, actually, if you count the 2 exhibition games with Portland.
I believe they also played a couple exhibition games, when both teams were still in camp as well, out in, with Los Angeles and the Coyotes. I think it ended up being like 20 or 21.
Now over the line, right side, long drive goes into the left wing corner by Klingberg. Monarchs come away with it. Zach O'Brien with it. Zach over the line. Right side, stops. Side of the right wing circle to Shore. His shot knocked away. Shore goes down in the trapezoid.
Elbow raised, and not liking that for the fans. Oscar Lindbergh with the elbow up on Nick Shore as Shore went down.
Icing called against the Wolfpack, and we'll face it off in the Hartford zone with 13:02 to go here in period number 1. Just getting started tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Looks like a bigger crowd than we had here on Thursday evening. Face off left wing circle to the right of Jan Denis. Wheel will take the draw with Oscar Lindbergh out of Sweden. Off the face-off, won by the Wolfpack. Kostka on it. Sends it into the neutral zone, knocked away by Bodnarchuk. Puck is loose in the Hartford end of the ice. Lindbergh up with it. Drops it back to Kostka. He sends it far side. Shea to Lindbergh. Lindbergh center ice with it. Lindbergh shifting over the line left side. Slowed down by Loverty. Puck is loose in the trapezoid. Loverty sends it far side. And there's a shot from the right wing side by McElrath.
Of Berube.
Got a piece of it. Puck is loose along the left wing wall. Dug out by Brian O'Neill. His pass knocked down by Horrific. Sends it back to McElrath. Now on it is Mersch in the slot. Mersch a drive goes over the net. Taken by Horrific behind the cage. Now center ice, Bork collects. Bork slowed down by Forbert. Gravel with the puck along the end wall. Drops it off for Forbert. Sends it around the wall. Horrific keeps it alive. Backhanded behind the net. In the Manchester zone off to our left. Now taken by Backman, neutral zone.
4-on-3.
Vandergulik has it, but offside.
Backman
whistled against
offside.
the Monarchs.
Yeah, he was in early, clearly, on that play, but Monarchs be able to attack with some depth. They've really seemed to be skating up and down the ice a little bit harder than Hartford. That's exactly what Mike Stothers wanted. He thought his club was outskated in the last game, and we could certainly make the argument outplayed. We talked about it a lot during the broadcast, and he had a rather contentious interview with you in the pregame show as they go, but he was not all that pleased with game 1, I'd say.
No, I think your assessment is accurate. Face off.
We talked about it during the course of the broadcast too. I mean, it felt like really that the Monarchs had been outplayed, and when they were able to extend the lead to 3-1, we talked about how difficult that was psychologically for Hartford.
Here comes down a drive, blocker save by Denis. Now in the neutral zone, Christo plays it in off the right wing wall. Berube sends it along the end wall. Puck loose right wing corner, dug out by Dowd.
They're really good behind the opposing goal line.
Backman chips it in deep off the end wall in the Hartford zone. Backman gets it back, throws it out in front. Shot saved. Shot hit the post. Another shot. Oh my goodness. Backman shot and a score. Backman let it go. Picking up the puck in the right wing circle, beating Denis. And the Monarchs draw first blood again. It's 1-0.
Relentless. That's the only way to describe that goal right there. The Monarchs were not to be denied. An interesting line pairing out there with Dowd, Bissonnette, and Backman all ending up together to tally for the Manchester Monarchs. And you talk a lot of time about chemistry and having guys familiar with each other playing out together on the ice. That time, guys who don't play together really at all that much. And they end up finding the back of the net just via pure will as he drive the net. The Monarchs hadn't gotten to the net really in this game, and Backman a couple whacks at it. Dowd a couple whacks at it, hits the post, and then off the post ends up deflecting right onto Backman, who had set up in the slot area after initially winning the battle behind the net to get the puck onto Dowd. Great effort by the Monarchs as Backman put the body in, shielded the player, and then on the backhand, got it to Dowd, one shot. hit the post on the rebound, and then Backman again comes to the slot area.
Now backhander in front, saved by Berube. Now back out it goes to Kostka, drops it off for Shea. Shea takes it left side in the circle. Shea's drive is deflected. Puck is loose behind the net in the Manchester zone.
One of those plays where you should get a goal and an assist if you're Sean Backman.
Backman getting his second of the postseason from Dowd and Bissonnette. Now Shea collects in his own zone. Monarchs were credited with 4 shots during that particular sequence, but they hit a couple of posts too. And as you said, Chris, they were relentless.
Yeah, if you look at the replay, Kevin, it seems kind of high, but we'll go with it.
Now Loverty plays it back to Bodnerchuk. Off the stick of Shore, collected by Haggerty, now knocked down by zone.
3 shots, including that post. But
now with it over the line, Shore. Shore left wing circle. Shore throws it out in front, knocked away into the neutral zone by the Wolfpack, collected by Bodnerchuk. At the red line, Bod's shot deflected off the glass. On it, Bodie. Bodie sends it far side to McElrath. We played a little more than half of the opening period here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs lead at 1-0. Bodie's pass knocked down by Forbert, plays at neutral zone. Now on it, Zach O'Brien, slowed down at center ice. O'Brien goes down in front of the Hartford bench. Now on it is Connor Allen. Allen with it over the line, left side, taken to the wall by Gravel. Puck loose in the left wing corner off to our left. As they battle for it, Forbert trying to pry it free. Gravel is there, Horovic is there as well for the Wolfpack. Now puck squirts free, and on it is Brian O'Neill. O'Neill sends it behind the net to Jordan Wheel. Wheel bumped in the corner. Puck loose along the left wing wall in the Monarchs end of the ice. Off to our left as they try to pry it free. Connor Allen with it, slides it across to Hughes. Now with it, Chris Bork. Left point, Allen. Now one-timer, Bork. And that goes high and wide of Berube.
Good puck possession here, though, for Hartford. This is the first time that they've really been able to work it around for any period of time in the Monarch zone.
Horovic has it. Side of the right wing circle. Back out it goes to the line. Now Allen with it. Allen's pass stolen in the left wing circle by Jordan Wheel. Wheel with it. Right side to O'Neill. O'Neill in the right circle. His drive saved. Denis. Loose puck out in front. Score! Michael Mersch standing in the crease. Puck went through Denis into the back of the net. And the Monarchs lead it 2-0.
Ken, again, that is all about will and conditioning. These guys are exhausted coming off the ice. They could have gotten to the red line, decided to dump the puck in and go for a change because they'd been hemmed into their own zone for a good sustained period of time there. But no, they remain aggressive. They know the opposition is perhaps even more tired than they are, and they put it into another gear. They drive the net, and again, the typical Michael Mersch goal where he is right out front of the net, able to put it home as O'Neill very patient, puts the shot on goal. Puck is loose, and he didn't find it. It was right on Mersch's stick for a sustained period of time, and he was able to find it and put it in the back of the net.
Mersch picking up the goal, his 9th of the postseason. Now,
and that's so significant. They do what those guys do late in shifts. O'Neill, Mersch, and Wheel.
And now Dowd levels Kostka. Vandergulik to Backman, his drive. Knocked down. Now Vandergulik can't come up with it in the corner. Dowd drops it off for Vandergulik. Kept alive by Loverty. Now it's Backman battling along the end wall. Mersch getting his 9th from O'Neill and Wheel, the official on the second goal. Now Loverty, high slot. His drive saved by Denis. Bodnerchuk a drive goes wide of Denis. Monarchs buzzing in the Hartford zone. Kept in by Loverty. Wraps it around the wall on the far side. Kostka with it. He's bumped by Crescenzi. Now Miller tracks it down in his own zone for the Monarchs. Fast and furious here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs on top 2-0. And so far anyway, you have to think that Mike Stothers is liking the way the Monarchs are playing a lot better tonight than Thursday.
Yeah, you like the shot total. You got 10 shots through the first 13 minutes of play. And you like the fact the Monarchs have really played mistake-free hockey. Much more focused and hard skating effort.
Bissonnette goes down along the right wing wall. Auger battling for the puck right in front of Chris Ryan on the far side. In front of the Hartford bench as the scrum continues. Auger is there as they battle for it. Puck squirts free. Now McElrath wants a piece of Bissonnette.
Schultze stepping in too. McElrath came in and took a run. I didn't see which player it was because I was kind of hiding. But the McElrath came in late and he took a run at one of the Monarchs guys. It may have been Bissonnette when everybody was kind of tied up along the wall here.
6:47 to go, opening period.
McElrath's heading off.
He's in the box even as we speak. 2-0 Monarchs. Will take a 60-second break on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
And here is your lobster frittata. It's topped with a
Oh, yeah!
Oh, my gosh.
Really?
I'm so sorry. Really. He's not usually like this, but with Verizon XLTE,
Yes.
he can stream his hockey on the go.
Right.
So when updates and highlights come in, well, sometimes he can't help.
Yes!
Yes! He just really loves his hockey.
With double the 4G LTE bandwidth in cities nationwide, Verizon XLTE turns anytime into hockey time. Coverage not available everywhere. See VerizonWireless.com for details.
Manchester Subaru is New England's largest volume Subaru dealer. Come check out the all-new Subaru 2015 Outback, starting at $269 per month. Don't forget about the family favorite vehicle, the Forester, getting 32 highway miles per gallon. If pricing is your goal, Manchester Subaru will never put you in the penalty box. Call them today at 888-223-7455 or visit them on the web at manchestersubaru.com. Test drive a Subaru and receive 2 tickets to any Manchester Monarchs home game.
Oh, McElrath is in the box.
What a job by Biss, Ken. What a job by Biss to draw that penalty there. You know, you have an instance which there's just a number of guys engaged, battling on the board here, and Bissonnette does what he does. He gets under guys' skin. He's been talking a lot down here. He hasn't liked some of the things that have transpired on the ice, and he's been letting people know about it. And McElrath comes in, he runs him late, and then he tries to maul him and get him to fight. Bissonnette shows discipline and does not answer the bell, and the Monarchs get a power play out of it. That's what you do in playoff hockey.
Monarchs with the first opportunity tonight on the power play. They were 0 for 2 in Thursday's game with a man advantage. Hartford was 0 for 3. Wheel will take the draw, left circle to the right of Jan Denis. Monarchs lead it 2-0. Monarchs overall in the postseason on the power play 6 for 41. That's a 14.6% success rate. Now O'Neill with it, side of the right wing circle, left wing circle to O'Neill, stolen away by the Wolfpack. Hrivic with it in the neutral zone. Hrivic over the line, now skates it back in the neutral zone, sends it back in his own zone for Koska. Koska sends it the length of the ice, stopped behind the net by Berube. Leaves it for Colin Miller. Now with it, Wheel in the neutral zone. Wheel shifting over the line, broken up on the play by Crabb. Crabb with it over the line, right side, right circle. Crabb broken up in the circle. Crabb in front, shot saved by Berube.
What a job by the Monarchs right there, Ken. First, Miller with an active stick was able to break Crabb up. He was able to find the puck because Miller was the only man back, and then Berube makes a huge stop. Great job by the Monarchs in their own end there with a shorthanded opportunity that was created because of a collision in the offensive zone between Jordan Wheel and Brian O'Neill. And Hartford off to the races. Miller breaks it up with the stick, and Berube then makes a big stop.
Laverty circling at center ice, brings it back into his own end, drops it off for Bodnarchuk. Bod skates it behind his own net. 50 seconds remaining on the penalty to McElrath. Now shifting over the line, Bodnarchuk. Bod's with it, bounces it off the end wall. Now puck loose far side and cleared by Nehring deep into the Monarchs end of the ice, taken by Laverty. Laverty in the neutral zone. Laverty gains the line, plays it in along the end wall. Laverty sends it into the trapezoid, and it's cleared by the Wolfpack all the way down the length of the ice. 20 seconds remaining. On it, Bodnarchuk. 5 minutes to play in the opening period. Monarchs on top 2-0 as Bod starts out of his own zone. Played ahead center ice, O'Brien on it. Zach O'Brien left side, side of the circle, stops. Back out to the line to Schultz. Schultz to Miller. Miller pulls the trigger, and
Denis got that one. Came on through.
Yeah, Denis got a piece of that one. Puck loose in the right wing circle. Penalty has expired. It's loose in the right wing circle, kept in by Zach O'Brien. Now sent behind the net by Shea. Far side Kostka to Harivik. Harivik, center ice to McElrath, just out of the box. Bumped by Miller in the half moon.
Now, next 4 minutes, 20 seconds here of this first period of play. Extremely important for the Monarchs to close this out on a high note. You do not want to give them a goal late. Maintain the aggressiveness with to build upon the power play because you want to make sure that you go into the dressing room with them shaking their heads again and wondering, how they're ever going to have success against the Monarchs.
Shore plays it deep in the left wing corner. Hartford zone wrapped around the wall on the near side. Klingberg tied up along the right wing boards. Chipped up in the air. Monarchs keep it alive. Auger turnaround shot save by Jan Denis. Now Lindbergh bumped hard.
A huge hit on Lindbergh. He's been a big presence for the Monarchs in this game. And as I mentioned before, the hitting much more intense in this game, number 2.
Now over the line, right side at Shore. Drops it off for Kempe. His pass stolen in the slot by Haggerty.
That was 3 muches if you weren't counting.
Now with it, Allen. Connor Allen throws it into the right wing corner, Monarch zone. Forbert bumped to the wall. Puck loose, up with it is Wheel. Wheel plays it far side. Kept in by the Wolfpack. Turnaround shot by Brown goes wide. Now O'Neill comes up with it off the stick of Wheel. On it now Mersch. Mersch battling and has it in the neutral zone. Brian O'Neill shifting over the line. The league's MVP drops it off for Wheel. Wheel down low. Wheel takes it behind the net on the forehand. Wheel's pass, however, goes into the neutral zone.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Bodnerchuk, but Bodnerchuk had contact made with him as he was coming onto the puck. Looked like the pass was a little bit off, too. But Wheel just unable to make connections there with Bods.
Now pass knocked down by Patulny.
Got leveled in the half moon by Naring. Christo and Backman come together. Christo throws a late punch in the direction of Backman.
Ryan Patulny in the game tonight. He did not play in Thursday's opener for the Hartford Wolfpack. Wrapped around the wall, far side to Vandergulik. Vandy sends it neutral zone. On it, Backman. Backman tied up by Bodie. On it now is O'Donnell. O'Donnell bumped by Dowd along
Hartford's
the
just
left
trying
wing
to find
wall.
themselves right now. They're losing puck battles along the board. They're trying to establish themselves physically. They're being outshot 12-3. They're losing 2-0. The puck possession has been really in the Monarchs' favor in this contest, and the Monarchs have upped their intensity big time in this game, and Hartford unable to equal it.
Now Bork with it, just inside the line, drops it off for Harivik in the left wing corner. Harivik side of the left wing circle. Now Bork with it along the wall, drops it off behind the net. Harivik with it. Harivik right side of the right wing circle, throws it in front, knocked away by Miller, taken by Bork. Bork sends it into the trapezoid. On it, Harivik left side. Harivik side of the left wing circle. Harivik drops it off in the corner, stolen by the Monarchs, Jordan Wheel. Wheel plays it ahead along the left wing wall in the Manchester zone, off to our left. Colin Miller with it behind his own net for the Monarchs. Miller for O'Neill. Now on it, Colin Miller. Miller gains the line, drops it back for Wheel. Wheel to Miller down low. His shot saved by Denis at the near post.
Really nice setup again for the Monarchs there. They work the end line, goal line extended. Miller has been much more engaged in this contest, and that's significant for the Monarchs when you have your best offensive defenseman taking some more chances, creating some offense.
1:11 to go here in the opening period. Monarchs out shooting the Wolfpack 13-3, leading 2-0. Goals by Backman from Dowd and Bissonnette. Mersch, his 9th of the postseason from Wheel and O'Neill. Shore on the draw with Lindbergh, right circle to the left of Jan Denis. Off the draw, one by Shore. O'Brien back to Schultz. Schultz, high slot. His shot knocked down in the slot. Puck is loose.
Look at the battle there for Auger. Auger going down to keep that one alive and put it beyond the goal.
Now with it, Shore. Schultz drive is blocked by Klingberg and taken by Hughes. Plays it far side.
If I had to pick two guys, Ken, it need to be better than game one. Miller and Auger were those two, and they've been great tonight.
Now Shore with it. Drops it off behind the net for Forbert in his own zone. Ahead to Auger. Auger banks it off the far wall, tracked down by Kostka. Now going down was Auger. Haggerty pokes it ahead. Now giving chase in his own zone is Gravel behind his own net. Gravel plays it far side. On it, Auger. Puck loose, neutral zone. McElrath drops it off for Bodie at center ice. Puck is loose. On it, McElrath sends it ahead to Klingberg, who throws it into the left wing corner. Puck loose along the left wing boards, dug out by McElrath. Puck loose out in front, cleared by the Monarchs into the neutral zone, and that is going to do it for the opening period here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, with the Monarchs skating off with a 2-0 lead. As some words are exchanged at the conclusion of the period, but the linesmen intervene and both teams head to their respective locker rooms. After the first 20 minutes, the Monarchs on top 2-0, out shooting the Wolfpack 13-3. Chris Ryan standing by downstairs, and momentarily he will be chatting with a member of the Manchester Monarchs, and a little bit later in this intermission we will hear a pre-recorded interview between Chris and Monarchs rookie Adrian Kempe. Chris standing by downstairs, and we will send things over to you.
Thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Monarchs forward Sean Backman with the first goal for the Monarchs. First off, I thought the first period of play tremendous for you guys. Coach Stothers really challenged you guys after the last game, which he thought could have been better, and you guys answered the bell big time.
Yeah, we know last game wasn't our best, so we wanted to come out strong, especially at home here. So I think it was a good first 20 for us.
I thought the goal as well for you was really indicative of the type of player you are. You went in deep. You won the battle, good body positioning, got the puck on to Dowder. Dowder could have put a couple on the net, and then obviously cycling up top to the slot.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to get pucks behind their D and forecheck them as hard as we can. I was able to get the puck, get it to Dowder, and then there's a scrum in front, and I popped it in.
I thought the second goal also is really indicative of the way the Monarchs play. You guys pride yourselves on conditioning. You pride yourselves on being in better shape than the opposition, and you were hemmed into your zone for a long period of time. And a lot of times, forwards in that instance will dump the puck in and go off for a change. Instead, Jordan Wheel leads the rush down the ice. O'Neill, good patience, and then Mersch does what he does.
Yeah, that was a good D-zone shift for those guys, especially against their top line there. And then, having the stamina and work ethic to go down the other end of the ice and put one home, that's big for us.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Sean Backman joins us after the first period of play. Monarchs up 2-0. We send it up to you, Ken.
All right, Chris, thank you very much, and thanks to Sean Backman. Monarchs leading it by a score of 2-0. Backman scoring his second of the postseason at the 8:37 mark of the period. Set up by Nick Dowd and Paul Bissonnette. And then at 11:25, the Monarchs struck again. Michael Mersch, another dirty goal in front, set up by Jordan Wheel and Brian O'Neill, making it 2-0. Shots on goal in that opening period, 13 for the Monarchs and 3 for the Wolfpack. So after one, Monarchs 2 and the Wolfpack nothing. We'll take a 2-minute break right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Last year, Bud Light filled the town with people who were up for whatever, like doing karaoke with me, Lil Jon. Gary was there. Remember that, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it again.
What?
Bud Light is doing another Whatever USA.
Okay.
But in a new location.
What?
With all new events.
What?
Just submit a 15-second video.
What?
A 15-second video telling Bud Light why you should go. Okay, Gary?
Okay.
Gary?
Okay.
If you're up for Whatever USA, submit your 15-second video with hashtag up for whatever and hashtag audition for a chance to go. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens.
Bud Light Whatever USA video contest open to U.S. residents 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Ends May 25th, 2015. Visit upforwhatever.com for official rules, entry, prizes, and details. Void where prohibited.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
What?
Imagine a new model for healthcare where no one has to face cancer alone, where patients are the center of a comprehensive cancer-fighting team. It's happening here in New England. Imagine doctors armed with the latest technology and treatment options and working with you as a partner in all your treatment decisions. Learn more about Dartmouth-Hitchcock's Norris Cotton Cancer Center at cancer.dartmouth.edu. Dartmouth-Hitchcock. Imagine.
How would you like to live in a historic opera block? Downtown Manchester living at its best, just steps from the theater, boutiques, and nightlife. Red Oak Apartment Homes can help you make the right move. Would you like to live in an apartment home that is pet-friendly? An apartment home that has a pool, clubhouse, and a gym? Then let Red Oak Apartment Homes help you make Sunset Ridge your new home. Or would a renovated loft in the historic St. George School be more your style? Discover Red Oak Apartment Homes today and start exploring the largest selection of affordable to luxury apartment homes in the state. Red Oak Apartment Homes has historical, urban to suburban, studios, lofts, 1 to 4 bedrooms, and many apartments with utilities included, starting at only $599 a month. Visit the Red Oak Apartment Homes website at www.redoakproperties.com for a full list of available apartment homes, and soon you'll be saying welcome home with Red Oak. www.redoakproperties.com.
Been a change in the scoring in the Monarchs' first goal. It's now Backman from Dowd and Gravel. So take the assist away from Paul Bissonnette and give it to Kevin Gravel. Ken Cale here along with Chris Ryan, our statistician magician Mike Nikovic, our producer at the flagship Tim Glenday, and a cast of thousands here in the booth. The Monarchs Radio Network presented by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. Monarchs lead it 2-0 after 1 period of play, out shooting the Wolfpack in that opening 20 minutes, 13-3. Having trouble finding a doctor who's accepting new patients and your insurance, or maybe you've moved and haven't found a primary care doctor as yet? Well, CMC can help. All you have to do is call Catholic Medical Center's primary care access line at 314-4750, and they will find the right doctor for you and have your medical records transferred for you as well. Call 314-4750 and get started today. And fans, don't forget to bring your Monarchs game used ticket into ENR Cleaners retail stores and receive 20% off your dry cleaning order. Earlier today, Chris Ryan had the opportunity to chat with Monarchs rookie forward Adrian Kempe. And we'll have that for you momentarily here on the Monarchs Radio Network. I swear he did. I was there. So take it away, Chris Ryan and Adrian Kempe.
Joined by Monarchs forward Adrian Kempe, and talk about what this has been like for you. Obviously, coming right into the fire in the postseason, trying to learn, not just the American Hockey League game, but also really the North American game as well. But it seems like you've made big strides and have continued to progress through kind of the course of the postseason here for the Monarchs. And what's some difficult conditions?
Yeah, it was a little bit hard in the beginning when I came here, but I think in a couple of games I started to get used to it, and I think I did pretty well the last couple of games. Yeah, I really like it here. I like the smaller rink, and I like the game. It's a little bit faster than in Sweden, so I think that fits me good with my speed in this thing.
Finding your speed, that's the most difficult aspect of it, because obviously guys can play fast, but you have to play fast but within control, and have good puck management, make good decisions. Is that the biggest challenge, is just kind of finding your speed within the game?
Yeah, I think so. You don't have so much time as you do in Sweden with the puck. So that's a big thing you have to learn when you came here. When you got the puck, you need to keep your head up and try to get control and try to find plays and yeah, that's a big challenge, and I try to learn more of it every day.
One of the things that's interesting too is I don't know how much guys talk on the ice in Sweden, but you've been kind of the point of emphasis for a couple, both Portland and Wilkes-Barre, with guys. They're guys who talk, trying to get under your skin a little bit, and you just kind of give them a blank stare and go out there and play your game. Is that something that's new to the North American game, having guys talk and try to intimidate and so forth?
No, I don't think so. I talk a lot like in Sweden with the guys. They always talk to me, so I always talk back in these things. But so that's maybe a thing I brought with me here. So I like when the other players get frustrated. So I just try to just play my game, not focus on them.
Yeah, that seems to be a big point is that you were frustrating the opposition, and you would not give them much in terms of talking back to them and trying. And it seemed like you had really a strong series, particularly in that Wilkes-Barre-Scranton series I mentioned before, and a good game one as well. What are some of the areas that you see as being your strengths right now? You mentioned you've been able to adapt to the speed of the game, but it seems like that the physical aspect of the game too has been significant for you.
Yeah, I try to use my strength and my size is good as well. I'm a big guy, so I try to play physical too. I think I can be a little bit more physical too. So I just try to use my size and my speed, and yeah.
What does it say as well, the confidence that the coaching staff has in you to put you, with Shore, or put you on the quote-unquote second line or play up? That's probably the spot for you early on here, is that you're playing with the guys who are the elite players.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can play with all guys. I think I don't know. They want my speed, and I have some good shots, and I start to play good these last couple of games when I have good control with the puck. So I think I need to improve this the own zone and get the puck out of there. So I think that's the biggest thing I need to improve. So.
Adrian, thanks a lot.
Thanks, bye.
Sweet. That is Monarchs forward Adrian Kempe with Chris Ryan. Interview recorded earlier today here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Kempe is playing on a line with Nick Shore and Zach O'Brien tonight. A little tweaking by head coach Mike Stothers before the game, as Zach O'Brien had been paired with Paul Bissonnette and Andrew Crescenzi in the first game. In this game, Auger has been moved to that line with Bissonnette and Crescenzi, and O'Brien with Kempe and Shore. But the adjustments have been made. As you heard in our pregame interview, Mike Stothers not all that pleased with the way the Monarchs played in Game 1, despite the 3-2 victory, but I'm certain that he is much more pleased with the way things have unfolded, at least in the first 20 minutes of this one, with the Monarchs on top 2-0 and out shooting the Wolfpack by a margin of 13-3. We will take a 2-minute break and be back with more right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
JD's Tavern, a great place before a game or after work. It's the place to go when attending a hockey game or any event at the Verizon Wireless Arena. JD's Tavern and the Radisson Hotel, downtown Manchester, is it. If you're looking for a place with a creative menu, including oversized sandwiches, delicious soups, fantastic burgers, and great salads, then look no further than JD's Tavern. Heading to a Manchester Monarchs game? JD's Tavern, just across from the arena on Elm Street. Take a break from the ordinary and try the extraordinary. Stop into JD's for your next business lunch, after work, or a great night out with friends. Enjoy entrees like braised short ribs, grilled New York sirloin, and fresh catch of the day. Classic designer burgers, grilled flatbread pizza, and artisan cheese boards using locally sourced food. JD's comfortable decor reflects the old mill architecture of the Manchester Historic Mill Yard. Before or after the game, for lunch or dinner, or just a fun night out with friends, try the upscale tavern, JD's Tavern at the Radisson Hotel, downtown Manchester.
Energy North Propane has been serving the Merrimack Valley, Seacoast, and Lakes region for a long time. Through the years, they've learned how to treat their customers, and they're committed to those relationships. Energy North employees are your neighbors. They care about quality workmanship, dependability, safety, and clean air and water for our children. That's the Energy North Propane commitment. EnergyNorthPropane.com.
Energy North Propane, people you know, service you trust.
Manchester Oral Surgery. Treat your Manchester Monarchs for their mouth, face, and tooth injuries. Dr. Mark Hochberg and Dr. Mark Abel can remove your wisdom teeth or place dental implants. Advances in technology like our cone beam CT scan and state-of-the-art infused bone grafting allows Drs. Hochberg and Abel to work with your dentist to replace your missing teeth without the need for removable dentures. Go where the Monarchs go to treat their injuries. Drs. Hochberg and Abel can be reached at www.manchesteroralsurgery.com or by calling 622-9441.
State Farm, this is Greg.
Just calling to say thanks for the gift of bagpipes. We switched our auto and home insurance to State Farm and saved ourselves $825.
Some save even more.
Save hundreds when you combine auto and home insurance with State Farm.
Here's one that I call the Combine and Save Polka.
Get to a better state. State Farm. Average household savings based on 2012 National Survey of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. We are between periods 1 and 2 with the Manchester Monarchs leading the Hartford Wolfpack by a score of 2-0. First period goals by Sean Backman, his second of the postseason, and Michael Mersch, his 9th of the postseason. And a dominant first period for the Manchester Monarchs, out shooting the Wolfpack by a margin of 13-3. Game 3 of this series will be played on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and that will be at the XL Center in downtown Hartford, Connecticut. The Manchester Monarchs and the Hartford Wolfpack, 7 o'clock, 6:45 right here on the mighty 1590 WSMN, as well as WSMNradio.com for Game 3, Game 4 Wednesday night. And that game Wednesday night will be on ESPN New Hampshire, AM 1250 and AM 900, as the Red Sox were nice enough to play Wednesday afternoon and give the Monarchs the airtime on Wednesday night from the DCU Center. Speaking of the Red Sox, they are trailing 2-0 in the second inning at home tonight against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The Western Conference Final will be played starting tomorrow night in Utica, New York. And the Utica Comets will be hosting the Grand Rapids Griffins. And of course, the winners of these two series will collide for the Calder Cup. And let's hope we can keep it going until sometime in mid-June. But take it one period at a time, and right now we're awaiting second period action here at the Verizon Wireless Arena, and we will have it for you right after these words on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
How would you like to live in the historic Opera Block? Downtown Manchester living at its best.
How long is
just
this one?
steps from the theater, boutiques,
2
and
minutes.
nightlife.
All right,
Red Oak
great.
Apartment Homes can help you make the right move. Would you like to live in an apartment home that is pet friendly? An apartment home that has a pool, clubhouse, and a gym? Then let Red Oak Apartment Homes help you make Sunset Ridge your new home. Or would a renovated loft in the historic St. George School be more your style? Discover Red Oak Apartment Homes today and start exploring the largest selection of affordable to luxury apartment homes in the state. Red Oak Apartment Homes has historical, urban to suburban, studios, lofts, 1 to 4 bedrooms, and many apartments with utilities included, starting at only $599 a month. Visit the Red Oak Apartment Homes website at www.redoakproperties.com for a full list of available apartment homes, and soon you'll be saying welcome home with Red Oak. www.redoakproperties.com.
Morgan Press is a proud supporter of the Manchester Monarchs. Why not let Morgan Press be a proud supporter of your business? For over 30 years, Morgan Press has been delivering quality work at a reasonable price. Morgan Press, for all your commercial offset and digital printing needs. Please visit our website for more information. www.morganpress.com. That's www.morganpress.com.
All yours. All yours, Kenny.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs and the Hartford Wolfpack getting set for second period action. Ken Cale here. Chris Ryan is downstairs between the benches. And let's see. Upstairs we have our statistician magician Mike Nikovic. Our statistician in training Liam Ryan is with us as well. Our former statistician Melissa Cale just popped into the booth. We've just had a cast of characters up here between periods, and I do mean characters. Chris Ryan, what are you looking for in period number 2? The Monarchs and the Wolfpack here tonight at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, Ken. I think it's really interesting to see that first period of play and the way the Monarchs were able to establish their will against Hartford. That bodes well for this series, and obviously now the Monarchs have more work to do in this contest.
40 minutes of hockey remaining, just underway. Shore keeps it in at the line for the Monarchs. Off to our left for O'Brien. His shot and a glove save by Denis, and he hangs on. We played 12 seconds of period number 2.
I think the Monarchs feel they have a lot of momentum off the way they carried the play in the first period of play, and I think that they're very, very enthusiastic, focused after that first period of play.
Face off right circle to the left of Jan Denis. Off the draw, Miller plays it along the wall. Taken away by the Wolfpack. Haggerty up with it, plays it neutral zone off the stick of Klingberg, collected by Schultz. His pass knocked down by Lindbergh. Now up with it, Schultz in his own zone. Schultz with it, slides it across ice to Colin Miller. Miller with it to Kempe over the line left side. Kempe throws it ahead, and it's smothered at the near post by
What a
Denis.
play. I mean, Kempe takes the body there, takes a hit to make the play, throws it towards the net, gets a good shot on goal. Netminder has to hold, get an offensive zone faceoff, and some talking going on. McElrath again, the center of attention.
Just one penalty in that opening period. That was to McElrath for unsportsmanlike conduct. We played 35 seconds of period number 2 with the Monarchs on top, 2-0. Face-off left wing circle to the right of Jan Denis. Off the face-off. Thrown ahead by Kostka. Monarchs keep it alive. A drive
Sloppy
by Backman.
Brown. He turned the puck over the blue line kind of aimlessly.
Puck loose along the left wing wall, dug out by the Wolfpack. As they started out, Kostka plays it off the wall, kept in by Backman. Now pass broken up on it. Forbert plays it right back into the Hartford end of the ice. Stopped behind the net by Denis. Kostka sends it far side. Now Forbert keeps it in. His drive just wide of Denis. Battling a Shea in the trapezoid behind Denis. Wolfpack having a rough time getting the puck out of their own end, thanks to the great forecheck of the Monarchs, but now they do. Over the line, Christo right side. Christo throws it in, steered away side of the net by Berube. Christo gets it back, left wing side, drops it off for Bodie. His drive goes off the end wall, shot by McElrath, deflected wide, kept in by Christo.
Hartford just can't get pucks to the net. That's a big problem for them. Was in game 1, continues to be here in game 2. There, they gets a good puck possession. They missed the net twice.
Bodie collects behind his own net for the Wolfpack. Bodie in the neutral zone with it to Chris Bork. Bork sends it behind the net. Of course, Bork's dad, Ray, played with Monarchs general manager Rob Blake with Colorado. Puck is loose in the left wing corner as they battle for it there in the Monarchs end of the ice. Up with it, Brian O'Neill. His pass broken up by Chris Bork. Puck comes in on Berube. He covers it up at the top of the blue paint, and we'll have a face-off in the Monarch zone.
They're not putting a lot of pressure on JF in a lot of different ways. A, not getting pucks to net, only 4 shots now in this game. And B, it doesn't seem there's a lot of traffic with JF, a lot of contact out front. And you remember back to the first couple series, that was a big point of emphasis as both teams were trying very hard to establish themselves in front of the net. And particularly in the Portland series, where Portland made a lot of contact with JF and obviously had some success in that series against the Monarchs. And so far, though, Hartford not really established themselves the net mouth.
Folks listening all over once again tonight, and of course they are listening to us the easternmost point of this continent, St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. The O'Brien family tuned in on AHL Live. Now Wheel with it, Wheel broken up. Mersch has it right side of the circle, back to Miller. Miller sends it behind the net for Wheel. Wheel along the end wall, drops it off for Crescenzi. Crescenzi sends it off the near side wall, and it's stolen away by Joey Crabb. Crabb sends it off the far wall for Bork. He goes down. Now puck is loose and goes out of play on the far side.
Of course, Zach scored arguably the most significant goal of the Monarchs this postseason, as O'Donnell just puts the stick on Miller and takes a tug as they come on the ice. Again, we're seeing a little bit of that extra stuff and a little bit of hate building between these two teams. Hartford obviously frustrated, and the Monarchs dominant here in this game too. But Zach O'Brien, that goal at 11:30 11:30 at night here in Game 1 in this third overtime against the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins obviously set the tone for that series.
No question. Now puck is loose, wrapped around the wall near side by Hughes in his own zone. Now in the neutral zone, Gravel giving chase in his own end, takes a swipe at it. Bissonnette up with it. Tried to hit Auger. Now giving chase is Hughes. Dishes off. And the Wolfpack able to clear it all the way down the length of the ice.
This line's been very effective, just as Mike Stothers had hoped, putting these big bodies out there, hoping to establish a forecheck and pound the opposition. Biss, Auger, and Crescenzi have all been great.
Now on an O'Donnell, he's dumped by Forbert along the end wall. Now kept in by Hughes. Shot by Nehring and a save by Berube. I think that one got through. Now,
it did.
Auger goes down, side of the left circle. Forbert comes away with the puck to Shore, but Shore can't come up with it. And it's tracked down by Kostka. Kostka takes it behind his own net. Plays it ahead, near side to Klingberg. Pass comes deep in the Monarch zone, played by Berube, sends it far side to Loverty. Puck loose, stolen by Haggerty. His pass deflected high in the air. Kostka can't keep it in. Up with it is Shore. Plays at neutral zone. Knocked away by Lindberg at the line. Now Kostka plays it back in his own end. Shifting over the line, Lindberg. Lindberg moving in, shoots and scores.
Really nice move there by Lindberg, and we talked about their ability to really turn the tide of the game just with a pass and a shot. That's the type of team this is. Now they have the puck in their own end. Quick two-line pass onto the blue line to Lindberg. Lindberg cuts the D, makes a really nice move, and puts it into the back of the net. But that's what they're all about. They can be, beaten into submission, but then the next thing you know, there they are within one goal as he goes backhand to forehand and then collides into the post as Lindberg after a really nice pass out of the D zone. And like that, they're a great counterattacking team, and they like to use the center of the ice to create opportunities, and right there, they did.
That was a great move by Lindberg, no question, with Loverty draped all over him. Time of the goal, 4:16 of the period. Lindberg's third of the postseason, set up by Shea and Kostka.
And they don't have the guys with the huge offensive numbers, but they have guys who are very good offensive players, no question about it. They have not scored as much as the Monarchs have in the postseason, but they are a very good counterattacking, quick hit type team.
Land away in the Hartford zone, off to our left. Puck loose. They're having a scrum along the left wing wall. Finally poked free to O'Neill. His shot deflected wide of Denis, kept in by Miller in the right wing corner, stolen away by the Wolfpack. Bork on it. Bork sends it ahead. Now tracked down by Schultz. Schultz with it. Drops it off far side for Colin Miller. Center ice, Mersch. Allen just off the bench got in the way. Mersch goes down.
He didn't even know he was getting in the way. He just kind of tripped going off the bench, and Mersch, I was trying to get around him on the wall side, but ended up going right into the body of Allen.
14:53 remaining to be played here in the second period. 2-1, the Monarchs lead it. Faceoff will come just outside the Hartford line. 14 shots for the Monarchs, 5 for the Wolfpack. Dowd will take the draw for the Monarchs against Mueller. And it's won by Dowd. Forbert with it over the line, left side. Forbert throws it into the trapezoid. Hughes with it, drops it off for Allen. Monarchs keep it alive with a forecheck. Shot from the right wing circle, blocked off the stick of Dowd. Dowd again, a shot from the slot, and a glove save by Denis.
Backman on the doorstep. Vandergool there as well. Monarchs done a really good job of getting to the net. That's been a point of emphasis. Mike Stothers telling the guys that, hey, look what Michael Mersch is doing. Dude scores pretty much each and every night. He's got 9 goals, and he's doing it all from the front of the net. Good things happen when you go to the net. That's what Backman did right there.
Dowd centering Vandergulik and Backman. Forbert and Gravel, the defensive tandem, out on the ice right now. Back it goes to Gravel. His drive deflected.
Just wide of the net. Trickled just wide of the net as Denis a bit fooled on that play on the strange redirect.
Lindberg comes away with it. Chips it into the neutral zone. Tracked down by Forbert. Forbert plays it ahead to Dowd.
Yeah, a lot going on behind the play in this game. That time Vandergulik was engaged. Goal line extended, but that's been a big-time theme. The hits have been ferocious, and a lot of stuff going on away from the official's eye.
Haggerty, right wing circle moving in, sends it to Klingberg. His shot, score! Klingberg ties it at 2.
That was a blown D-zone coverage from the Monarchs. Monarchs all went puck side, and Klingberg was able to sneak in. It was just a matter of getting the puck onto him. I wasn't sure they're going to be able to do it with the amount of white jerseys going towards the puck carrier, but as we mentioned before, this is a team that can certainly bounce back, and that time it was just Gravel coming over, 2 Monarchs players trailing the play. Neither of them ended up picking up Klingberg, coming on the left post side. And like that, it's 2-2.
Lindbergh and Klingberg with second period goals.
Those guys had a really good game one, too.
They did. Yes, they did. They were the standouts, along with Chris Bork, who assisted on both of the goals on Thursday night. Lindbergh from Klingberg and Shea. 13:56 remaining here in period number 2.
And now we see how the Monarchs react to this. I mean, they're in a situation right now where Natives getting a little bit restless here in the arena. They have watched the Monarchs dominate this contest, and now the game is tied, 2 goals apiece after a couple really nice plays from Hartford. First one, just a flat-out great play. Second one, Monarchs had some problems with their D-zone coverage, and now here we are, 2-2 in a game where the Monarchs have been the better team. In game 1, make the argument that Hartford was the better team, and they found themselves losing that contest. Tonight, the opposite. Hartford, Monarchs tied 2-2, despite the fact the Monarchs played real well.
Following Monarchs playoff hockey on the mighty 1590 WSMN Nashua and WSMNradio.com, as well as ManchesterMonarchs.com and AHLLive.com, where they're following us worldwide. Playing away behind the Hartford cage. New hockey game tied at 2. Now, puck came up and hit the Hartford bench, I believe.
Hit the photographer.
Oh,
right
okay.
next to me,
Okay. There you go. And went out of play.
Hit his stand here.
13:36 to go. Middle period. Monarchs and the Wolfpack tied at 2. We'll take a 60-second break on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Manchester Subaru is New England's largest volume Subaru dealer. Come check out the all-new Subaru 2015 Outback, starting at $269 per month. Don't forget about the family favorite vehicle, the Forester, getting 32 highway miles per gallon. If pricing is your goal, Manchester Subaru will never put you in the penalty box. Call them today at 888-223-7455 or visit them on the web at manchestersubaru.com. Test drive a Subaru and receive 2 tickets to any Manchester Monarchs home game. Doctors Richard and Jeffrey Vachon of Vachon Dental are members of the dental team for your Monarchs. Serving Manchester and surrounding towns like Bedford, Hooksett, Goffstown, and Auburn, Vachon Dental offers a wide range of services for your family. If you require dental treatment, want a brighter smile, or need tooth replacement, they can help. Staff members are experienced with current techniques and technology to improve your smile easily and comfortably. Call 603-627-2092 to schedule an appointment or visit them online at vachondental.com, where kings are crowned.
Well, Gustil Kopitar is out there again tonight, Chris. And reminds us that the Ducks and the Hawks about to begin, but he is going to keep us in his ear as well and provide updates.
He's a dog, or what's his deal?
Yeah, he's the official canine of the LA Kings.
Oh.
Icing called here against the Monarchs, and we'll have another face-off in the Manchester zone.
I thought it was like a dude with a picture of his dog for like the, his just his Twitter handle.
No.
Picture,
no.
but
and
not.
And I've been named an honorary Newfoundlander
It's a
by
big
the
night.
O'Briens. It has been a big night so far, but
so our biggest fans are the Kings mascot Bailey, a dog, and your friend the O'Briens.
That's right.
And we're comfortable with that.
Your friends
We're really
too.
comfortable with that. In fact, we wear it with a badge of honor.
And our good friend Bobby Howard is tuned in tonight too. And many, many others tweeting us as well. Horrific with it. Horrific. His pass knocked down by Mersch in the slot. Mersch goes down in the slot. Couldn't get a shot off, and the puck cleared into the neutral zone. Now over the line, Horrific with it right side. Horrific drops it off for Bodie. Bodie's pass goes into the right wing corner, knocked away by Schultz, pops high in the air. Puck is loose, right wing corner, battling for it there. Joey Crabb drops it off for Chris Bork, back out to the line. Shot by McElrath goes wide, kept in by Bodie to Horrific. Now Bork with it, left wing corner, tied up by Colin Miller. As they battle for it in the left wing corner, Manchester zone. Horrific kicks it ahead along the left wing wall, side of the circle. Pass to Crabb, knocked away. Now Hughes with it. Hughes throws it into the right wing circle. Crabb spun around. O'Neill has it. Drops it off for Schultz to Wheel. Wheel, center ice. On it is Miller. Miller plays it in off the right wing wall as the Monarchs change up on the fly. Connor Allen with it behind his own net. Wraps it around the wall into the neutral zone. Comes deep in the Monarchs end. On it, Auger. Auger takes it behind the net, wraps it around the wall, far side. Crescenzi to Bissonette. Biss with it to Forbert. Forbert gains the line left side. His drive, saved, Denis, loose puck out in front.
Again, he coughed up a rebound right there.
Yep.
This has been a kind of a continuous thing for Denis. He's making saves, but he's leaving rebounds out there. That time, he makes the initial stop, but drops the puck right out in front of him. So even more reason for the Monarchs to, put the head down and head to the net.
Face-off will come in the
Gusto
Hartford
is what?
zone.
He's the official dog of the Kings or something, a canine?
Yes,
or?
exactly.
So
exactly.
What do you get with that? Does he get to go to the games? Or?
I would imagine so.
He's good for him.
Face-off left circle to the right of Jan Denis. Crescenzi on the draw. 2-2 if you're just joining us. Monarchs led it 2-0 after the opening period, but Hartford scoring a couple of quick goals at 4:16 and 5:59 of period number 2.
Is he Anze Kopitar's dog, or is he just likes that? He just has that name.
I believe he just has that name. I don't know. I don't know the entire history, but I'm sure we'll find out in the not too distant future. Patulny with it, sends it far side in his own zone. Played ahead to O'Donnell. O'Donnell backhands it ahead. Now it's knocked down by Forbert. Forbert in the neutral zone. Sends it deep into the Hartford end of the ice. Denis plays it to Connor. Now sent around the wall far side by Nehring. Puck comes deep in the Monarchs end of the ice. Berube plays it in the trapezoid. Drops it off for Bodnerchuk. Bods drops it off in the neutral zone. Now puck collected by the Wolfpack along the left wing wall. Backman trying to keep it alive. Taken by Mueller. Wraps it around the wall to Christo. Now Brown with it. Brown sends it neutral zone. Backhanded into the Monarchs end of the ice by Shea. Laverty bumped by Christo. Now Monarchs come away with the puck. Dowd in the neutral zone with it. Dowd over the line. Drops it to Bodnerchuk in the slot. His drive saved. Denis. Loose puck out in front. Smothered by Denis.
Again, he dropped the rebound and right out in front of him before he was able to fall on it. Not sure if he does that for effect or what exactly that is, but he always seems to drop it like right in the same spot, right in front of him, and then he falls on it.
Well, as head coach Ken Jernander can't lose too much more hair over on the Hartford bench.
That's true.
I'm an expert in that category.
See, you have the liberty to say something like that. I do not. It's kind of like that Seinfeld episode.
Face-off will come in the right wing circle to the left of Jan Denis. Nick Shore will take the draw against Oscar Lindberg. 2-2 your score. Game 2 of this Eastern Final. Playing away along the right wing wall. Now with it is Auger. Auger pokes it into the trapezoid. Puck is loose along the left wing wall. Now it's taken by Bodie. Sends it far side. Now Bodie collects along the end wall. Sends it into the trapezoid. McElrath plays it ahead to Haggerty. Haggerty dumps it into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Auger, who sends it right back into the Hartford end. McElrath on it. Wraps it around the wall. Giving chase is Schultz, who collects. Slides it across ice to Forbert. Forbert's pass knocked down. Collected now by Zach O'Brien. His drive and a stick save by Denis. Now Shore back out to Forbert. His shot goes off the end wall. Collected by Auger. Backhander save by Denis off the stick of Auger. Now Klingberg pokes it all the way down to the Monarchs end of the ice. Collected by Gravel. 9:45 to go. Second period. Forbert sends it in along the left wing wall. Collects along the end wall. Drops it off for Mersch. Throws it in front. Knocked away. Kept in by Wheel, who throws it into the right wing corner. Now Mersch goes down. On it, Crab. Crab in the trapezoid behind the net. Crab sends it along the wall to Bork. Now in the neutral zone, it's Hrivic poking it ahead. Over the line, Shea. Shea behind the net, Hrivic. Right circle, Bork. High slot, a shot knocked down.
Brian O'Neill got that one. Big time block by Oni. Got in the way of that shot by Koska. He's trying to skate it off right now.
9:11 to go. Second period, Monarchs 2, Wolfpack 2. We will take a 60-second break right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
And here is your lobster frittata. It's topped with a
Oh, yeah!
Oh my gosh.
Really?
I'm so sorry. Really. He's not usually like this, but with Verizon XLTE,
Yes.
he can stream his hockey on the go.
Right.
So when updates and highlights come in, well, sometimes he can't help.
Yes!
Yeah! He just really loves his hockey.
With double the 4G LTE bandwidth in cities nationwide, Verizon XLTE turns any time into hockey time. Coverage not available everywhere. See VerizonWireless.com for details.
There is no better time to transfer to Southern New Hampshire University than now. Transferring doesn't need to be complicated. Students can transfer up to 90 credits, saving you time and money without sacrificing your education. Thinking about attending SNHU on campus this fall? Then come to our Express Admission Day, held every Friday in May. Visit, apply, and receive your admission, scholarship, and credit evaluation decision on the spot. Visit snhu.edu/transfer or call 603-645-9687 to register.
9:11 to go, second period, 2-2 your score. Monarchs and the Hartford Wolfpack. Monarchs lead the best of 7, 1 game to none. Shore taking the draw. Left circle to the right of Jan Denis. Off the face-off, Shore kicks it to Mersch, now to Bodnarchuk. With it, Wheel, left circle, his drive deflected out of play. And we'll face it off again in the left wing circle to the right of Jan Denis. Veteran goaltender who's been around a while, played in the NHL with Montreal, the Islanders, the Devils, and Edmonton. And spent some time in training camp, as we mentioned, with the Manchester Monarchs this season. Off the draw, puck loose, controlled by the Wolfpack. Neutral zone, sending along the left wing wall. Loverty bumping along the end wall with Patulny. Now Wheel collects far side to Mersch. Center right, Shore. Shore gains the line, plays it left side. Bodnarchuk sends it behind the net. Mersch has it knocked away. Now Mersch battling in the trapezoid, taken by Kostka. Plays it ahead, poked into the neutral by Bodnarchuk. Bods to Wheel. Wheel slowed down, taken down in the neutral zone. Penalty coming up here. Play continues in the neutral zone. On it, Shore. And we'll get a penalty, a holding call coming up presumably against the Monarchs. With 8:18 to go in the second period as Jordan Wheel will go to the penalty box.
The officials have stayed out of the game for the most part. There have only been now 2 penalties called in this contest, and that is the first on the Manchester Monarchs. Jordan Wheel gets called for the hold. He had the puck along the board, took a big hit, and then I'm not seeing where the penalty took place on that particular replay at all.
Nope.
that was the sequence, and Wheel, had the puck on his stick, took a hit, puck jarred free, and then we just watched Jordan Wheel kind of stand there.
Off the draw with it, Kostka for Bork. Bork a drive, whistles wide of Berube. Kept in by Kostka right side. Drops it off for Lindbergh. High slot Bork. Played left side. Now center point Kostka. Right side Bork. Bork's shot deflected in the score! Score for the Wolfpack. And now a skirmish breaks out. The net became dislodged. And Schultz going at it with a member of the Wolfpack.
Lindbergh.
Yeah. They're battling just in front of the blue paint in the near the hash mark area. Miller being separated from
That
Kraft.
is the first time I've ever seen Jeff Schultz this angry.
And now Mueller was given a little poke by Colin Miller, not very much, but it's going to be a goal for the Wolfpack on the power play on a shot that was deflected. Initially taken by Chris Bork.
It went straight up in the air. It was an incredibly strange goal, as you mentioned, Ken. As the puck came up top, Bork carried and deflected off of Lindbergh's stick. It actually looked like it hit the post, then hit the top of the net, and then came out afterwards. So it was a redirect by Lindbergh off the shot by Bork, as Bork got it up at the right point position, drifted in towards the lip of the right wing circle. Let it go, and Lindbergh really in the actually in the slot area, redirected it, and the Monarchs have had a disastrous second period.
Crab was in there as well. I don't know if he might have gotten the final stick on it. Lindbergh redirected the shot in the slot off the stick of Bork, and Crab was in the vicinity as well. Bounced off a post, and was a bizarre goal, but a power play goal for the Wolfpack, and that penalty obviously to Wheel hurt. It will be Crab's goal from Lindbergh and Bork at the 12-minute mark of period number 2, and the Wolfpack have reeled off 3 consecutive goals here in this period.
They've done so on 5 shots.
Land away. Forbert sends it around the wall on the near side in the Manchester end of the ice. Now with it is Dowd. Dowd in the neutral zone. Dowd gains the line, left side, left circle. His drive is blocked by Haggerty. A loose stick in the left wing circle. And who lost his stick? It was Haggerty who lost the stick. And a penalty coming up here. Penalty coming up here.
39 of Hartford. Haggerty's going off for a rough. The Monarchs thought before that he had gotten away with a slash out there as well. His stick ended up breaking as a result of the impact of that slash. But he does get caught for the rough. So the Monarchs head to man advantage.
That they do with 7:20 to go in the second period.
If your Monarchs really can't get dissuaded, despite the fact that you've seen these 3 goals scored here and have lost the lead, you have to realize that you're playing pretty good hockey and just get back to it. I mean, Hartford has been who they are. They're a team that is able to strike quickly. They've had some, last goal was rather fortuitous, so.
Face off right circle, Monarchs on the power play for the second time tonight, with Haggerty in the box for roughing at the 13:40 mark of the period. 12:40 mark of the period, I beg your pardon. Thank goodness I have Mike Nikovic here to straighten me up. Now with it, Miller in the neutral zone. Miller back in his own end for the Monarchs on the power play, trailing 3-2. Colin Miller with it, neutral zone. Miller drops it off for O'Neill. O'Neill plays it into the trapezoid behind the Hartford cage. Lindbergh battling along the end wall. Now Wheel with it down low. Turnaround shot, Wheel knocked away. Wheel gets it back to Miller, high slot. His drive goes wide of Denis. Monarchs keep it alive. Mersch wraps it around the wall, far side, kept in by Miller along the right wing wall.
Miller took a stick to the mouth. Now his stick's broken.
Miller playing without a stick, kicking the puck in front of his own bench on the far side. Now Miller Wheel was being held down momentarily by Crab in front of the Monarchs bench. Monarchs with it. Pass deflected off the stick of Allen deep in the Hartford end of the ice. Bodie sends it around the wall on the near side, and it's played in behind the net, stopped by Berube. Now it's Loverty on it. 45 seconds remaining on the Monarchs power play. Loverty over the line, drops it off, but offside whistled against the Monarchs with 41 seconds remaining on the Monarchs man advantage. With Haggerty in the box for the Wolfpack. Faceoff will come just outside the Hartford line. Monarchs trail it 3-2. 3 goals for the Wolfpack in a span of 7 minutes and 44 seconds. Lindbergh, Klingberg, and Crab doing the honors. Shore on the draw with Hruvic. Shore up front for the Monarchs with Dowd and Backman, Gravel and Loverty on the points. Monarchs win the draw. Loverty to Gravel. Back to Loverty in his own zone. Loverty has it for the Monarchs. For Gravel, neutral zone. Gravel wraps it around the wall on the far side. Now Gravel keeps it alive left wing side. Drops it off. keeps it in at the left point. Puck loose along the wall. Gravel sends it right side. Loverty in the circle, drops it back for Backman.
Loverty needed to shoot that puck right there.
Plays it down low. Loverty gets it back to Gravel. His shot through a screen. Knocked down in front. Loose puck in the slot. Cleared by the Wolfpack. Penalty has expired. Haggerty back on the ice for Hartford. With 5:13 to go in the middle period. 3-2. The Wolfpack in the lead. Bodie wraps it around the wall. Kept in by Bodnarchuk, right point. His shot deflected. Taken down. Mersch. Penalty coming up.
Monarchs headed back to the power play.
Booking will be the call with 5:01 to go in the second period.
And that's, again, the impact of Michael Mersch right there. He is frustrating the heck out of the Hartford Wolfpack. He has 3 goals in the first 4 periods of this series. And again, out front of the net, frustrating Hartford. Hartford trying to move him out of that net mouth to take a penalty to do so.
Penalty on Hughes for the hook at the 14:59 mark of the period. Monarchs going on their 3rd power play of the game. They have yet to convert. Face off in the left wing circle. Back out to the line to Bodnarchuk. Slides it across to Miller. Now Bods, high slot. Left side O'Neill. O'Neill's pass deflected. Monarchs keep it alive. Back out to Bodnarchuk. Bods with it left side. Bods left wing circle. In the corner. Bodnarchuk still with it. Dishes off to O'Neill. O'Neill back up top off the stick of Miller. It went into the neutral zone.
That is the second time Miller has been unable to keep a bouncing puck into the line, and that's frustrating the coaching staff.
Mersch with it. Mersch back out to Miller. Keeps it in at the right point. Slides it across to Bodnarchuk. Bodnarchuk left wing circle moving in. Bod still with it. Throws it in front. Knocked away. Kept in by Miller. High slot. Miller sends it right side. Wheel with it in the circle. In front to Mersch. Saves. Score! Mersch again! Another Mersch goal to tie it up on the power play. Power play goal for the Monarchs. It's now 3-3.
Michael Mersch cannot be denied out front of the net, Ken. He drew the penalty because of frustrating the Hartford Wolfpack, and he just got another goal out front. Just creating body positioning out front of the net and taking whacks at the puck. Hartford has no answer for Michael Mersch at his strength out front. He is a beast.
Wow, is he ever? Time of the goal, 15:50 as the fans watch it here again. Mersch battling away, poking away, and finally sending it into the back of the net. He would not be denied.
I understand it's more difficult to do it on the PK than at even strength, but you can't let him establish position out front of you. You need to be behind him. Otherwise, it's just a losing battle. You can't possibly deny him the net. He's going to take a couple of shots, and hopefully the netminder is either going to make the save and hold it, or it's going to go in the back of the net. He's 2, 3, 4 whacks putting it in the back of the cage.
Loverty with it. Brand new hockey game once again. Center point, McElrath. His drive deflected off the glass. Mersch from Wheel and Miller, the official on that one. Mersch's 4th goal of this series, 10th of the postseason.
To tie Jordan Wheel.
Now with it, Shore. Kept in at the line by the Wolfpack. Sent into the right wing corner. Kept in by Bodie at the right point. Shore up with it now. Kept alive by Horovic. Back out it goes to Bodie. Sends it left side. One-timer whistle wide off the stick of Hughes. Horovic battling with Shore along the right wing wall. Now Laverty comes away with it. Now cleared out of the zone by Shore, but we have a stoppage in play here as Bork is down. Chris Bork is down and lost his helmet, and Schultz is going off, I think, for an elbow.
Yeah, and indeed it is an elbow as Bork along the board went down, stayed down for a while. The trainer now out to have a word with Bork.
So the Wolfpack will go on the power play with 3:09 to go in this eventful second period at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Monarchs led it 2-0 after the opening period. Wolfpack have outscored the Monarchs 3-1 here in the second stanza.
It's been a heck of a game.
That it has. as the series continues to intensify. Schultz in the box at the 16:51 mark of the period for the elbow on Chris Bork. I'm sure his dad is in the building tonight. I've not seen him, but I'm sure he is.
Indeed he is.
Okay. Quite a defensive
Monarchs
tandem.
are not incredibly pleased with the quick recovery of Chris Bork.
21 shots for the Monarchs, 8 for the Wolfpack in this period. The Monarchs with a total of 8 and Hartford with 5. 3 of them have gone into the back of the net. Mueller and Dowd on the draw, right circle to the left of Berube. 3-3 your score. Off the draw, puck stolen by Crescenzi. Crescenzi in the neutral zone.
Broken effort by Dowd. Dowd dove, extended to get that puck on to Crescenzi after winning the faceoff. Dowd is a really, really good player, Ken. I mean, he's not getting the accolades of Wheel, O'Neill, and Mersch because of what they've been doing scoring-wise, but he's had a great postseason. Again, wins a battle on the boards.
Vandergulik with it, neutral zone. Vandergulik over the line, right side, throws it in front, knocked down. Taken by Crab. Crab drops it off for Kostka. Center ice, Mueller, cross ice pass to Chris Bork. Crab with it in the corner to Chris Bork. Bork battling with Forbert, right wing corner. Lindbergh's pass skips over the stick of Vandergulik.
Bork holding on to Forbort's stick along the board there, no call.
Now Forbert comes away with Bodie far side. Now Lindbergh back out to the line to Chris Bork. Center point now, right side. Bork a drive, saved by Berube.
Juicy rebound.
Cleared by Forbert, but back out to Bodie. Now center point, Bodie has it, plays it left side to Mueller. Mueller back to Bodie, high slot now. Shot by Mueller goes wide. Kept alive by Bork along the right wing wall. Center point,
Monarchs need to
Bodie.
clear desperately.
Right side, Bork down low to Lindbergh, back to Bork. Center point, Bodie. Left side it goes to Lindbergh. Pass deflected into the neutral zone.
That's big right there. That'll allow Monarchs to get one forward out there, but not two. Offsides goes Hartford. Bondarchuk shoves Klingberg, and those two come together.
Left wing corner, and now the linesmen step in. Mods and Klingberg still exchanging pleasantries. 26 seconds remaining on the penalty to Jeff Schultz. Minute 34 to go in period number 2. Monarchs and the Wolfpack tied at 3 apiece. Rivik is going to take the draw against Nick Shore. Shore out there with O'Neill, Loverty, and Gravel for the Monarchs. 26 seconds remaining on the penalty to Jeff Schultz. Now some jousting going on between Loverty and Klingberg as they drop the puck. Behind the net, Berube leaves it for Gravel, and he sends it all the way down the length of the ice as Miller could not keep it in at the left point for the Wolfpack. Knocking off some precious seconds on this Hartford power play. With it now, Christo over the line for Klingberg, sends it off the end wall. Puck loose in the trapezoid. Harivik sends it back out to the line to Allen. Right side, Bodie. He sends it cross ice. Left wing circle, shot deflected. Penalty has expired. Schultz back out on the ice for the Monarchs. Shore collecting the puck, poking it ahead into the Hartford zone. Bodie and Shore battling for it. Shore has it. His pass to O'Neill. He shoots and scores. What a setup by Nick Shore to Brian O'Neill. He buries it by Jan Denis. Monarchs lead it 4-3. French fries for everybody.
You certainly have to make the most of your opportunities, and it seems like this Manchester Monarchs team does that. If you get the puck out front of the net, you need to bury it, and that's exactly what Brian O'Neill did. First, Shoresy, really good job. Some patience with the puck on his stick. He's able to get a nice pass on to Brian O'Neill, who does the rest. And Shore first creates the turnover as he battles in, gets it right on to O'Neill. Good recognition, waited just that split second, so O'Neill was in the right spot, and O'Neill buries the puck right on the doorstep. So all the wrongs here in this second period of play, with the Monarchs giving up 3 unanswered, have been washed off as the Monarchs has taken a 4-3 lead.
7th of the postseason for Brian O'Neill. Set up by Shore. What an effort by Shore. A long shot by O'Brien, turned away by Denis.
And you look at the goals here tonight, and each one has a great effort by that player who made that primary assist. In that instance, it was Shore to turn over the puck and create the opportunity.
Miller pulls the trigger and scores! Colin Miller let it go! From just inside the blue line, it might have been redirected in front.
Got it.
Monarchs lead it 5-3.
Yeah, Sean Backman, I think, gets his second of the night on that one. Miller is the first guy back to the bench, but looks like Backman may have deflected that one out front. And like that, the Monarchs, a huge answer as this place is fired up. With the Manchester Monarchs scoring 3 straight.
Is it ever? Fired up tonight. Wow. Mersch, O'Neill, and now it appears Backman got a piece of it in front, sending that puck by Denis. They'll get the
not sure if it was Backman or if it went off the forward.
And that'll do it. What a second period here. Both teams scoring 3 times. 6 goals in the second period. I'm glad I have my statistician Mike Nikovic off to my left tonight. Monarchs leave the ice just as they did after the first period with a 2-goal advantage. And a few minutes ago, we wouldn't have thought that possible when they trailed by 1. But they have come back with 3 unanswered goals. Backman gets the goal from Miller and Schultz to put the Monarchs up 5-3. Chris Ryan is downstairs, and momentarily he'll be chatting with Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height. So, Chris.
Thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height. And throughout the course of this year, we've seen this Monarchs team continues to play. No matter what the situation is, you preach that you continue to play, and you trail in this period 3-2, and that really didn't seem to faze the guys much at all.
You know what? It was quiet on the bench, but it's a quiet confidence, and obviously guys stepped up. It was a big power play goal that Mercy scored and got us back going. Hartford pushed and capitalized on some opportunities and mistakes that we had, and you know what, that's playoffs. You got to respond, you got to have a short memory, and you got to come back strong the next shift.
Have you ever seen a guy who's been able to have the success that Mersch is having in front of the net for a sustained period of time? I mean, it seems like, as we've seen in the series so far, 4 goals, all very similar, and they've been unable to deny him the net.
Well, he's a big body. I mean, he works at his game every day, and you know, he deserves the success he's having because of the time he puts in, and obviously he had skills doing it, and he understands where he is on the ice, and you know, the puck's getting there, and he's putting it in the back of the net.
So many smart hockey players on this team, but I've seen so many smart plays and creating these goals in this game. Obviously, Shore turning the puck over. Backman on the first goal as he comes in, creates the turnover. The stick work, the intellect of these guys, really special.
Yeah, well, it starts with hard work, and those guys are moving their feet tonight. You know, I think of Bax and Shorzy, they're really competing for pucks and hard on pucks and wanting that puck, and you know, that's where it starts, and then you know, your skill and your stick skills and everything like that takes over.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height joins us here after the second period of play. Monarchs leading 5-3 after 2. Back up to you, Ken.
All right, Chris, thank you very much, and thanks to Monarchs assistant coach Chris Height for joining us, as he does between the second and third periods during every home game here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Wow. These fans who showed up here tonight have been treated to a very exciting 40 minutes of hockey. We still have at least 20 more on the way. Monarchs 5 and the Wolfpack 3 here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. We will take a 2-minute break and be back with more on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Stan, is that you? I thought you retired 10 years ago.
Yeah, I did, but I really miss those dental. Ain't retirement grand?
You should check out the new individual and family plans from Delta Dental.
Aren't those private plans expensive?
Not with Delta Dental. You get the same dependable benefits offered by employer plans and at competitive rates, plus up to 100% coverage for exams, cleanings, and x-rays. And the dentist you have, you can keep, because Delta Dental has the largest dental networks in the nation.
Well, that sounds amazing. So what's the catch?
No catch. Enrolling is easy. You can do it online at any time at deltadentalcoversme.com. What's that website again?
That's deltadentalcoversme.com.
Thanks. Retirement, here I come.
Northeast Delta Dental, the region's most experienced dental benefits company. Plans available in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Every day, kids playing sports suffer concussions. If a child isn't diagnosed and returns to play, their brain is vulnerable and an impact of minimal force can cause irreversible damage. It's called second impact syndrome, and it can result in attention deficit disorder, depression, and sometimes death. How can we prevent it? Coaches need to assess their players and prevent them from playing if they aren't reacting normally. We need to do baseline testing before kids participate. Then test the kids we suspect have had a concussion. If the results are different, they need to stop all activity and see a medical professional.
Hi, I'm Andrew Bodnarchuk, defenseman for the Manchester Monarchs. I recently suffered a concussion in a game. Resting, completely stopping all physical activity was crucial to my recovery. Because I did, I was able to get back on the ice. No matter what your age is, when it comes to a concussion, safety first. Rest up and you'll be back before you know it. A message from the New Hampshire Orthopedic Center and the Manchester Monarchs.
Monarchs lead the Wolfpack by a score of 5-3 after 2 periods of play. In the first period, Sean Backman scored at 8:37 to give the Monarchs a 1-0 lead. Backman's first of the night, second of the postseason, set up by Dowd and Gravel. Then at 11:25, the red-hot Michael Mersch scored his first of the night, 9th of the postseason, set up by Wheel and O'Neill. That made it 2-0 Monarchs after 1 period of play. Shots on goal in that opening period, 13 for the Monarchs and 3 for the Wolfpack. And then the Wolfpack reeled off 3 consecutive goals. 4:16, Lindbergh from Shea and Kostka. That made it 2-1 Monarchs. Wolfpack tied it at 5:59. Klingberg is third of the postseason from Haggerty and Shea. And then Crabb with his 5th of the postseason put Hartford on top 3-2 at the 12-minute mark, set up by Lindbergh and Chris Bork. So 3 straight for the Wolfpack, but then 3 straight for the Monarchs within a span of 4 minutes and 1 second. At the 15:50 mark, Michael Mersch scored his 2nd of the night, 10th of the postseason from Wheel and Miller to tie it up at 3. Brian O'Neill set up beautifully in front by Nick Shore at 19:10, made it 4-3, O'Neill's 7th. Shore with the lone assist on that one. And then at 19:51, Sean Backman redirecting a Colin Miller shot into the back of the net behind Jan Denis. Miller and Schultz getting the assist on Sean Backman's 2nd goal of the night, 3rd of the postseason, and it's 5-3 Monarchs after 2 periods of play here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Shots in the 2nd period, 11 for the Monarchs, a 2-period total of 24, 6 for the Wolfpack, and a 2-period total of 9. Prior to tonight's game, Chris Ryan had the chance to talk things over with Monarchs center Nick Dowd.
Talk about the significance of having the amount of great center icemen the Monarchs have, particularly in the postseason. And we see, the Monarchs consistently create puck possession in the offensive zone off of face-offs, and you have to be strong up the middle.
Yeah, I think any team in the NHL that's successful has top end forwards, but at the same time has depth at the center position. And I think our team is pretty fortunate. We got Shorzy back from the big club. We had Wheels, probably been one of the best centermen in the league, and to have Shore back and then Krez come off injury, we're pretty deep. I think all 4 guys could fill in any role in that position, and obviously puck possession around the whole ice is huge, because if you lose the puck, it's real hard to get back. So
almost every practice you'll see Monarchs head coach Mike Stothers work through face-offs with you guys out there, and how much fun is that to go up against Wheel or Cress, guys who are really good face-off guys like yourself, and do you guys push each other a lot in those drills?
Yeah, I think it's obviously really important to I think deliberate practice is gonna make you better on the during the game, and going against top end guys obviously gonna make you better at any position. But everyone has a little different touch, which is nice because Krez will do something different, Wheel will do something different shores, he does something different. So you kind of get a bit of both, and we have righties and lefties. So yeah, I know Stutz is obviously big on face-offs, and he's not afraid to let us know if we're not doing our job in the dot. So it's pretty crucial. I think any big team, any successful team is going to have strong center ice.
And it's the rookie year for yourself as well as Michael Mersch, and obviously Mersch has been amazing in the postseason in regards to goal scoring. But I think we've seen incredibly significant strides from both of you in regards to figuring out the league and really having success. You along the wall, very good on the obviously on the forecheck and creating opportunities for your teammates. And it seems like you really strived at this level and enjoyed the postseason as well.
Yeah, I think once again we're surrounded by great players on this team, and we have a really good organization, and people want you to be successful, and it's easy to succeed.
Hi, it's Bruce from Shipyard, here to introduce another new beer. Often new projects can take an unexpected direction. What started as a ginger beer evolved into gingerbread.
Interview
We
cut out.
reformulated the beer and dramatically changed the spice profile. The next addition to the Pumpkinhead family,
Ken, your
Gingerbread
interview
Head, was
cut
born.
out.
A brown ale with molasses and brown sugar, accented by clove, ginger, and cinnamon. Gingerbread Head is complex and spicy, and after one sip, you can't help but taste gingerbread cookies. And you can't miss the Gingerbread Man.
What happened there?
Your favorite pub.
Your interview cut out.
Oh, it did. I'm sorry.
So I'm in the middle of the second break.
Airport first.
Okay.
Check MHD for easy access, affordable
what
on-site parking.
Yeah, it just dropped out entirely about 45 seconds ago.
All right, well, I'm glad you jumped on it.
No problem.
Hold on a second.
Charlotte, Chicago, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Tampa, Washington National, and more. The next time your
We have a really
plans
good
call for air
organization,
travel,
and people
remember
want
to check
the
Manchester Boston
league and really
Regional
having
Airport
success.
first.
You along the
Buy
wall,
local, fly
very
local,
good on the
fly MHD.
obviously on
Call
as well
211 and
as
be a
Michael
part of the
Mersch and obviously
solution of
Mersch.
reducing underage drinking.
So,
211
kinda
New
get a bit
Hampshire
of both,
and the
and we have
Division
righties
of
and
Liquor
lefties.
Enforcement
So,
have formed
yeah,
a
I know
partnership
Stutz is
to
obviously
provide
big on
an
face-offs,
anonymous
and
tip line to
he's
report
not
planned
afraid to let
underage
us
drinking
know
parties.
if we're not
Your
doing our
call
job
to
in the dots. So,
211 may
it's pretty
prevent a
crucial,
call
I
to
think, like I said,
911.
any big
New
team,
Hampshire
any
Liquor
successful
Enforcement
team.
and the Buyers Dolts that in New Hampshire it's against the law to provide alcohol to minors. Keep New Hampshire's youth safe by supporting 211 and the Buyers Beware campaign.
Stan, is that you? I thought you retired 10 years ago.
Yeah, I did, but I really missed those dental benefits, so I'm back. Ain't retirement grand?
You should check out the new individual and family plans from Delta Dental.
Aren't those private plans expensive?
Not with Delta Dental. You get the same dependable benefits offered by employer plans and at competitive rates. Plus up to 100% coverage for exams, cleanings, and x-rays. And the dentist you have, you can keep. Because Delta Dental has the largest dental networks in the nation.
Well, that sounds amazing. So what's the catch?
No catch. Enrolling is easy. You can do it online at any time at deltadentalcoversme.com.
What's that website again?
That's DeltaDentalCoversMe.com.
Thanks. Retirement, here I come.
Northeast Delta Dental, the region's most experienced dental benefits company. Plans available in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Arena. We apologize. We had a technical problem with our interview between Chris Ryan and Nick Dowd. See if we can get back and hear a little bit more of that.
It's the rookie year for yourself as well as Michael Mersch, and obviously Mersch has been amazing in the postseason in regards to goal scoring. But I think we've seen incredibly significant strides from both of you in regards to figuring out the league and really having success. You along the wall, very good on the obviously on the forecheck and creating opportunities for your teammates. And it seems like you really strived at this level and enjoyed the postseason as well.
Yeah, I think once again we're surrounded by great players on this team, and we have a really good organization, and people want you to be successful, and it's easy to succeed when you're surrounded by people like that. Coming in right away, I think me and Mershi obviously are a little hesitant. You don't want to step on anybody's feet, but the older guys did a good job bringing us along. And it's easy to grow in an environment like this where guys want you to succeed. So.
How important is it to have kind of the diversity of personalities on this team as well? I mean, you have Brian O'Neill and Jordan Wheel, who work their tails off and are miserable out on the ice. Every single shift they wanted it to be better. You have Michael Mersch, who's kind of and Zach O'Brien, who both compete extremely hard, but kind of happy-go-lucky guys. Don't really seem like they've had a bad day in their life. And the true professionals like Jeff Schultz. It seems like there's and guys who never stop talking like Biss. It seems like there's a really good blend of personalities where guys like yourself can, find your way within the room.
Yeah, I think it's pretty quick. You're going to find your niche in the locker room, and I think Biz and Oni and Bax, guys like that, are going to carry the conversation. And obviously, as a new guy, you're not going to be the first one to jump in, but once again, you got older guys that are kind of leading the way and showing us younger guys how it's done. So it's good to have those NHL veterans like Biz and Schultz, and even Bondarchuk. I mean, he's been around quite a long time. So it's good to learn from those guys, and hopefully one day in time we'll be able to pass on what we've learned to someone else. So.
Downer, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet. All right, glad we could hear the conclusion of that interview. Nick Dowd just having a tremendous season and postseason for the Manchester Monarchs, chatting with Chris Ryan. The New Hampshire Orthopedic Center has been the official orthopedic provider for your Manchester Monarchs since the inception of the franchise back in 2001. New Hampshire Orthopedic Center provides comprehensive care for athletes and non-athletes at convenient locations throughout southern New Hampshire. You can visit them in Nashua, Manchester, Londonderry, Amherst, and Salem. Learn more at NHOC.com. A reminder that Game 3 of this series will be played on Tuesday night at the XL Center in downtown Hartford. We will have that game for you right here on the mighty 1590 WSMN starting at 6:45. And then Wednesday night, 6:45, that game, New Hampshire, 12:50 a.m. and 900 a.m., as well as ESPN NH Radio.com, and always ManchesterMonarchs.com and AHLLive.com. We have had a ton of tweets tonight, and unfortunately can't recognize all of them, but we have been inundated with tweets, and we sincerely appreciate it, and thanks so much for listening to Monarchs hockey, however you're doing it tonight, from sea to shining sea, from California to the easternmost point in North America, St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. We have listeners tonight of Monarchs Hartford hockey. And after 2 periods of play, it's the Monarchs 5 and the Wolfpack 3. Third period action coming up momentarily right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
Checking air travel options? Check Manchester Boston Regional Airport first. Check MHT for easy access, affordable on-site parking, free Wi-Fi, and access to the Centrix Bank Business Center. Check MHT for non-stop jet service to Atlanta, Baltimore, Washington, Charlotte, Chicago, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Tampa, Washington National, and more. The next time your plans call for air travel, remember.
The perfect beer for whatever happens.
Bud Light Whatever USA video contest open to U.S. residents 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Ends May 25th, 2015. Visit upforwhatever.com for official rules, entry, prizes, and details. Void where prohibited.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light beer. Anheuser-Busch. St. Louis, Missouri.
What?
Just about set for third period action here at the Verizon Wireless Arena on this Saturday night. Ken Cale here along with Chris Ryan, our statistician magician Mike Nikovic, our producer at the flagship Tim Glenday. Great to have all of you listening tonight to Manchester Monarchs hockey. 5-3, the Monarchs lead it as we get set for third period action. Nick Shore and Oscar Lindberg set to take the faceoff. Won by the Wolfpack. Bodie with it. Bodie drops it off in the neutral zone. Klingberg backhands it ahead, knocked down by Colin Miller. Miller sends it far side. On it, Shore. O'Brien shifting over the line. We have a change in goal for Hartford. Mackenzie Skapski is in the game. Skapski has replaced Jan Denis between the pipes for the Hartford Wolfpack. Now far side, Monarchs with it. Pass broken up, collected by Miller, throws it ahead into the neutral zone. So Mackenzie Skapski gets his first postseason appearance as Jan Denis has been replaced after 2 periods here tonight. Now Loverty up with it, slides it across in his own zone. Opening minute of play here, third period, 5-3, the Monarchs on top. Shea now sends it cross ice to Kostka. Back to Shea in his own zone. Shea sends it ahead. Loverty giving chase in his own zone for the Monarchs. Bumped by Harivik along the wall. Mersch battling along the boards. Takes the puck away. Center ice, O'Neill. O'Neill over the line, right side. Dishes off, but it's stolen away by Kostka. Kostka plays it ahead to Chris Bork. Now Bork giving chase in the left wing corner. Up with it is Bodnerchuk. Bod's with it in his own end. Center ice to Michael Mersch with a pair of goals tonight. Mersch with 2, Backman with 2, Wheel to Mersch. Mersch backhander, and a save by Skapski. O'Neill with it in the corner. He's bumped by Crabb. Mersch's pass to the line to Forbert. Forbert with it, left side. His drive goes wide of Skapski. Planned away in the Hartford end of the ice. O'Neill in the trapezoid for Dowd, far side. Dowd with it for Gravel. Gravel a drive, and that one goes behind the net. Lost track of it for a second there. I think most people did. Back out to Forbert it goes. His drive is deflected wide of Skapski. Now Gravel behind the net. Dowd giving chase, kept in by Forbert, side of the right wing circle. Puck loose in the trapezoid behind Skapski. On it now, the Wolfpack. Played ahead, knocked down in the neutral zone by Forbert. With it, pokes it ahead to Dowd. Dowd with it in the high slot, tried to hit Backman. Backman, his pass deflected. Up with it now, Miller in the neutral zone, plays it back in his own end. 5-3 Monarchs, early in the third period. With it in the trapezoid is Bodie. Bodie drops it off for Chris Bork. His pass, neutral zone, giving chase far side Mueller. Puck loose along the end wall. Christo keeps it alive. Now kept in by Bork. Bork wraps it around the wall on the near side. Auger is on it. Auger chips the puck into the neutral zone. Tracked down by Hughes, who plays it ahead. Now Loverty steals the pass in the neutral zone. Played ahead by Hughes, over the line, knocked away from Christo. Bork has it over the line. He was stopped as he tried to cross the Manchester end of the ice. Puck is loose, and it's tracked down by McElrath. In the neutral zone, on it Mersch. Mersch dropped it off for Loverty. Now they battle for it at center ice. Wheel has it. Wheel plays it back to Bodnerchuk. Stolen by Potulny in the neutral zone. Now Potulny sends it right side. A drive from the right wing circle by O'Donnell is deflected out of play.
A great active stick there by Bodnerchuk as he got the stick in to deflect it out of play. More of the same here for the Monarchs in this third period of play. Very, very dominant performance of the Monarchs. And obviously look back at that second period, see the 3 goals, but still only 9 shots for Hartford in this game. That's the way Hartford plays. They score goals against the play. A great counterattacking team, as we talked about before. But, you know, really for the Monarchs, we talked about with Chris Height, just kind of continuing what they do. They did not appear to be dismayed when they gave up the lead. And they knew they were playing good, strong contest with a good game plan. And Monarchs don't worry about the opposition. They worry about themselves. And when you have superior talent, that's what you do.
Playing away, Van der Gulik, neutral zone, throws it off the right wing wall. Puck is loose along the end board. Shea sends it far side. Now up with it. Lindbergh plays it neutral zone to Klingberg. Klingberg sweeps it in behind the net. Stopped by Berube, drops it off there. Backman with it in his own zone. Chips it ahead, neutral zone. Dowd couldn't come up with it. Stolen by Lindbergh. Plays it back to Kostka. Kostka off the stick of Klingberg, off the end wall, taken by Colin Miller. Now Miller starts it out of his own zone. Puck loose, center ice. Crab plays it back to McElrath. Now to Bodie. Bork sends it in on Berube. Turns it aside. Now kept in by Bork to McElrath.
A rare miscue there from O'Brien as he flicked the
stolen away.
Then Zach gets it back, makes up for it.
Now Shore with it over the line. Shore drops it off for Zach O'Brien. Puck is loose far side, up with it Joey Crabb. We've played a little over 5 minutes of the third period, 5-3. The Monarchs on top.
That's the other big Monarchs thing. You lose the puck, you make a mistake, you get the puck back.
Back out it goes to McElrath, plays it right side. McElrath, a one-timer save by Berube. But Berube saw that one all the way and made the pad save. Icing now called against the Monarchs, and will face it off in the Manchester zone.
There's a number of Wolfpack fans behind the Monarchs net and also off in section 122, and there's a derisive cheer from the fans. I'm not sure if that had to do with the fact that they're teaming up and shooting the puck or what exactly that was from them, but going to time out here, it looks like.
Time out on the ice with 14:38 to go in the third period. You're listening to Monarchs Playoff Hockey on the mighty 1590 WSMN Nashua. That's where the game will be Tuesday night as well. WSMNradio.com, ManchesterMonarchs.com, AHLLive.com. Great to have everybody tuned in. Well, I tell you what, it's just been amazing. It has just been amazing, the response that Chris and I have been getting on our Twitters, and glad to have everybody tuned in. Most of the Monarchs fans, too, I might add. Most of them. Not necessarily all, but most of them. And we thank you for your kind words. Face off.
I can't be as actively engaged on Twitter and in my current location.
No, you can't. No. I know. You have to watch out. Your life is on the line down there.
This texting and tweeting while driving is pales in comparison to doing so down here.
Playing away in the Monarch zone off to our left. Shore up with it along the end wall in the Monarchs end of the ice. Wolfpack battling to keep it alive in the Monarch zone along the right wing wall, dug out by Nick Shore. Shore in the neutral zone, his pass broken up and sent the length of the ice by the Wolfpack. Schultz wins the race to the dot and will face it off in the Hartford zone with 14:11 to play here in period number 3. Faceoff will come in the right wing circle to the left of Mackenzie Skapski.
Yeah, you did get a chance to mention that to begin the period, but I think that's a good move from Hartford. Not like the way Denny has played here in these 2 games, and also, you know, you're hoping to spark your team a little bit with a change. That was a good change from Kenny Jernander, who's been around for a long time with these Hartford Wolfpack.
His number is retired atop the XL Center in the rafters there. We've been there in the rafters a few times. Backhander by Mersch, and a save near post by Skapski. At close range, Michael Mersch making a bid for the hat trick. Mersch has 2. Sean Backman with a pair.
Jordan Wheel took a shot to the head. It was like a pinball situation. 2 Hartford players taking runs at him.
Now Mersch down low again. Hughes able to clear it deep into the Monarchs end of the ice. Won't go far enough for icing. Tracked down by Loverty. Wraps it around the wall. Backman 2, Mersch 2 for the Monarchs tonight. Now playing away behind the Monarchs net on the far side, off to our left. Now with it is Bork. Chris Bork drops it off for Shea. Puck into the Hartford end of the ice, comes into the left wing corner. Battling along the end wall for the puck. Now kept alive by Gravel. Back out to the line it goes to Backman. His shot, score! Sean Backman just inside the blue line. Beating Mackenzie Skapski. Backman with the hat trick. Monarchs lead it 6-3.
Nick Dowd will get that one, Ken.
Right.
Dowder's played a great game, and that time he redirects it home from the slot area as the Monarchs put a 6 spot up on the Hartford Wolfpack with 12:55 to go in this contest. The way the game has gone, and certainly the game's still not decided at this point in time, but the Monarchs certainly put things in their favor with 12:55 to go in the contest. Sean Backman has had a great game. He's really set the tone for this team. I think Shore has set the tone as well for the Monarchs. And Nick Dowd, we talked about it before, he's really set the tone for the Monarchs throughout this postseason. He hasn't gotten the accolades of some of the guys that scored a number of goals, but now 2 goals for him in the first 2 games of this series. He does a lot of really good work. He's a 3-zone player. Reminds me, really a lot of Trevor Lewis when he was here with the Monarchs. So solid in winning battles in all 3 zones, and there he gets rewarded with a tally, and O'Donnell got hit with a unsportsmanlike penalty as he was engaged with Vandergool prior to the puck drop.
I apologize for prematurely celebrating a Backman hat trick, but Nick Dowd was right in front and did redirect it by Skapski. So
Ryan O'Neill imploring his teammates on the bench to keep their heads in the game and to keep the intensity
quick
going.
Shot in on Berube, and he made the save from the right wing circle. Now battling behind the net, Nehring with it. Nehring turnaround shot, went behind the net, kept in by Bodie. His drive saved by Berube. Out from Backman and Gravel, the official, on the 6th Monarchs goal. 12:16 to go here in period number 3. 6-3, the Monarchs on top in this one. Faceoff will come in the Manchester zone. And as we mentioned, Mackenzie Skapski replacing Jan Denis after 2 periods here tonight. We get a timeout on the ice. We will take it. 6-3 Monarchs. We'll take a 60-second break on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.
And here is your lobster frittata. It's topped with a...
Transferring doesn't need to be complicated. Students can transfer up to 90 credits, saving you time and money without sacrificing your education. Then come to our Express Admission Day, held every Friday in May. Visit, apply, and receive your admission, scholarship, and credit evaluation decision on the spot. Visit snhu.edu/transfer or call 603-645-9687 to register.
All yours.
Welcome back. 12:16 to go here in period number 3. 6-3, the Monarchs on top in this one. Face-off left circle to the right of J.F. Berube. Wolfpack with 12 shots in the game. The Monarchs with 25. Now Allen swats it away in the neutral zone right in front of the Hartford bench. Up with it, Lindbergh in his own zone. Now Jeff Schultz, center ice, long drive, steered aside by Skapski. With it is Hughes behind his own net with under 12 minutes to play in the 3rd period. On it is Miller, slides it across ice. Monarchs all-star defenseman Colin Miller with it. Starting out of his own zone. Miller at center ice, plays it in off the right wing wall. Stopped behind the net by Skapski. Skapski leaves it for Shea. Shea with it, plays it ahead. Now Hrivic giving chase left wing side. Hartford battling with Mersch. Mersch in the corner. His pass knocked down. Kept alive by Bork. Wolfpack with it. Left wing side. Hartford throws it into the right wing corner on it. Wheel.
Oh, contact with JF as Bork knocked him down, and he'll get called for it.
Monarchs will be going on the power play.
JF is banged up. He's coming over to the bench.
He is hunched over, and he didn't make it quite as far as the bench. He is now retreating to the net. Bork going off for goaltender interference here.
Looked like he got the stick in on JF and kind of took the chairs out from under him. The chair legs out from under him. They're calling him for goaltender interference. Let's see if we get a replay on that.
So the Monarchs go on the power play, leading by 3. They trail by 1.
Well, JF in these first 2 games, 12 shots tonight. There haven't been a lot of bodies in front of the net either. And that's the first contact they've made with him.
Now with it, Bodnerchuk. Bods to O'Neill, side of the left wing circle. O'Neill in the circle. O'Neill to Wheel. Now to Loverty. His shot saved by Skapski.
Fabulous save. He came across down low and was able to rob him.
Now Wheel with a drive. It goes wide. Rebound by O'Neill.
Marsh again camped out front. They can't move him. He's making it so tough on the netminders. Oh, that time he took a cross check from McElrath.
Now Loverty moving in. His pass knocked down by McElrath. Loverty side of the right wing circle. Back up top to O'Neill. High slot. O'Neill with it. Right wing side. O'Neill plays it down low to Mersch. Mersch in the trapezoid. Throws it out in front, but the pass goes all the way down into the Monarchs' end of the ice. Played by Berube. Plays it center ice to Loverty. Loverty wraps it around the dasher, far side. Backman drops it off for Dowd. Dowd with it. Dowd to Wheel, side of the left wing circle. Back up top to Forbert. Now to Gravel, right circle. His drive saved by Skapski. And the puck cleared by the Wolfpack. 42 seconds remaining on the penalty to Chris Bork for goaltender interference. We're more than midway through the third period. 6-3 Monarchs. Shore with it. Plays it off the left wing boards, left wing glass, really. Puck loose. Dug out by the Wolfpack. Mueller plays it ahead to Brown in the neutral zone. Brown giving chase
Good
with
stick
Forbert.
by Forbort. He got it in twice and able to break him up.
Puck loose along the left wing wall. Penalty
wins
winding.
it on the board. He's played a good game. Him and Gravel both been really solid for the Monarchs on the blue line.
Forbert with it. Forbert, neutral zone, plays it in off the right wing wall. Now Allen banging there with Auger.
And that's what you want right here. You put that puck in deep, continue to forecheck, put pressure on them in their zone. Monarchs also have to be cognizant of this is a good counterattacking team, but that's where you want to play this final 8:45, all in the Hartford end.
Land away. Kept alive by Klingberg in the Monarch zone. Both teams at full strength. Long drive by Haggerty and a save by Berube, and Berube covers up the puck. Goal line extended. Haggerty getting involved with a member of the Monarchs.
Comes in and starts throwing jabs at the face of, I believe that's Miller. Yeah, it is Miller. Just kept throwing about 4 or 5 punches right in the face, and they've also been taking a lot of runs at Jordan Wheel, particularly in the head area. 8:35 to go here in third period of play. 6-3. Monarchs lead it. Third period. Back with more after this on the Monarchs Radio Network.
Manchester Oral Surgery. Treat your Manchester Monarchs for their mouth, face, and tooth injuries. Dr. Mark Hochberg and Dr. Mark Abel can remove your wisdom teeth or place dental implants. Advances in technology like our cone beam CT scan and state-of-the-art infused bone grafting allows Doctors Hochberg and Abel to work with your dentist to replace your missing teeth without the need for removable dentures. Go where the Monarchs go to treat their injuries. Doctors Hochberg and Abel can be reached at www.manchesteroralsurgery.com or by calling 622-9441.
Imagine a new model for healthcare where no one has to face cancer alone, where patients are the center of a comprehensive cancer-fighting team. It's happening here in New England. Imagine doctors armed with the latest technology and treatment options, and working with you as a partner in all your treatment decisions. Learn more about Dartmouth-Hitchcock's Norris Cotton Cancer Center at cancer.dartmouth.edu. Dartmouth-Hitchcock. Imagine.
Face off right circle to the left of J.F. Berube. 8:35 to go here in the third period. Monarchs on top. 6-3. 28 shots for the Monarchs, 14 for the Wolfpack. Monarchs have doubled their shots and doubled their goal output as well. Playing away in the Hartford zone. Bork in the corner, dumped by Mersch, and that brings a nice rise from the crowd here at the Verizon Wireless Arena. Shot by O'Neill, knocked down in front by Bodie, drops it off for Bork far side.
Bodie came out to cut the puck, but again, Mersch was all alone out front of the net.
Now Christo with it, just inside the line, plays it right side. One time Bork goes high and wide of Berube.
He loves that shot.
Doesn't quite have the accuracy of his father, however. Now with it, Shea. Shea starting out of his own zone. Lays it into the neutral zone, knocked down by Miller, and Collin throws it deep in the Hartford.
Yeah, Ray, one of the great sharpshooters ever. You remember him in all those all-star games.
Well, very few as good as him as far as that's concerned. Now Shore with it. Bounces it ahead into the Hartford end. Auger in the trapezoid, bumped by Shea. Auger side of the left wing circle with it. Auger pulled down in the left wing circle by Shea. Up with the puck now is Koska. Koska drops it off. Harivic has it neutral zone. Marek Harivic sends it in along the left wing wall and collared Zach O'Brien. Now puck is loose, neutral zone. On it is Crab. Crab to Allen, left side. Broken up by Schultz. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Dowd with it. Backman in the half moon sends it deep in the Hartford end of the ice, knocked away by Crab. Now Lindbergh sending it far side, neutral zone. Bounced off the end wall in the Manchester end of the ice with 6:40 to go in the third. Here's Allen dropping it off left side, shot by Lindbergh, saved by Berube. Now Gravel with it. Gravel sends it far side along the right wing wall, kept in by Lindbergh. Allen with it. Allen throws it off the end wall. Karam taken by Gravel. Wrapped around the wall, kept in by Hughes at the right point. Slides it along the right wing boards. Forbert battling in the corner with Lindbergh. Vandergulik up with it. And Backman leveled, run into by Allen and leveled. Long drive
Dowd
by Gravel.
having some words.
Lost his glove and his stick and is going to the bench with one glove and no stick.
I think he dropped him, to be honest with you.
Now O'Neill moving in, shot hit the crossbar. O'Neill at close range, hit the crossbar. Now Mersch with a drive, bottom of the left wing circle, and a score. Michael Mersch with the hat trick. Monarchs 7 and the Wolfpack 3.
He's amazing. The hat's coming right down on Michael Mersch as he skates towards the bench. A green hat deflected off his body. Wow. I don't even know what to say, Ken. This is one of the more amazing performances I've ever seen in the postseason here in 2 games.
It's beyond words, really. It is. It truly is. I mean,
the dude has 5 goals, and he is just imposing his will on the opposition. It's been incredible to watch. 11 goals now for the postseason, and now 12 games. Amazing.
It really has been. O'Neill hit the post and the crossbar, then the puck rolled out to the bottom of the left wing circle, and Mersch just buried it behind Skapski. And here we go, McElrath and Bissonnette. Here we go, the Dukes are up. Shadow boxing at the Hartford line. Bissonnette and McElrath. Bissonnette going at McElrath with the right hand. They clutch and grab. Biss wants to get the hand free. A right by McElrath. Biss pounding away with the right hand on McElrath. In the neutral zone, both still with helmets on. Biss with an overhand right. They continue to clutch and grab. McElrath tried to get a right hand in as he pulls on the jersey. Biss has the left hand on the jersey of McElrath. Couple of rights by Bissonnette as the heavyweights go at it. Center circle. And now So the linesmen step in to separate Paul Bissonnette and Dylan McElrath as they go to their respective penalty boxes for most of the rest of the night.
Wow, what a game tonight.
Wow.
Said everything. And right there, Biss answering the bell. I mentioned before, earlier in the game, he was able to draw a penalty with McElrath taking a run at him, and he wanted, and I think McElrath ended up with a high stick in that instance. And McElrath wanted Biss to fight him in that instance. He said, nope. And the time for that is perhaps later, and the time for that was right now, with the Monarchs firmly in command and ready to put this one in the win column, up 7-3 with 5:45 to go in the game.
7-3 Monarchs, 5:45 left. Mersch with the hat trick, 5 goals in this series.
It's 2 games of this series.
Right.
This series. Not even 2 games.
Still plenty of time in this one. Now far side, played ahead, knocked down by the Monarchs, kept in by Auger. Auger along the end wall, he goes down along the end boards, taking.
Ken, we were watching him, and he was doing everything right. He was playing well on the boards, he was making good passes, he was winning battles, he was playing great in all 3 zones, but the scoring just wasn't coming. Well, it has come, and it is amazing to watch what he is doing.
Now knocked down neutral zone by Nick Shore. Now with it is Gravel in the trapezoid, ahead to Backman, who has 2 goals tonight. Now Shore over the line, overskates the puck. Never really had possession of it, but it's cleared to the neutral zone by the Wolfpack, knocked down by Gravel. Next 2 games will be in Hartford Tuesday and Wednesday nights. You won't want to miss them, and Hartford's not that far away. Backman over the line. Backman goes down. He's hacked at by Chris Bork. Now Kostka comes away with the puck. Shea with it. Shea plays it ahead over the line. Right side shot deflected off the stick of Mueller, out of play. With 4:16 remaining in period number 3. Monarchs on top, 7-3 in this one. 3 goals for Michael Mersch, 2 for Sean Backman, 1 for Brian O'Neill, and 1 for Nick Dowd. If you're just joining us, I think Mike Stothers will be a little happier after tonight's game than he was after game 1. Just a feeling I get. We'll find out. Playing away along the left wing wall in the Monarchs end of the ice. Now Schultz in the right wing corner tries to clear, and it was kept in at the line by Hughes. Just barely kept in. Now up with the puck is Dowd behind the Manchester cage. Battling with Brown. Brown goes down. Puck still loose along the right wing wall, and it's taken by Kempe. Kempe hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time tonight for the Monarchs. Now with it, Schultz. Schultz has it. Drops it off for Crescenzi. Crescenzi throws it into the neutral zone. Shea on it. Shea has it knocked away by the forechecking of Vandergulik, and Skapski covers it up just outside the blue paint. With 3:23 to go in the 3rd period, Monarchs on top, 7-3. The other series, the Western Final, will start tomorrow night in Utica, New York. Utica Comets and the Grand Rapids Griffins going at it.
Who do you like in that series, Ken?
Grand Rapids.
I'm going Utica.
Okay. Teemu Pulkkinen
in 6.
He has had an amazing postseason as well of the Grand Rapids Griffins. Land away. On it is Bodie. Bodie drops it off for Shea. Far side Haggerty on it. Center ice to Lindberg. Lindberg ahead to Klingberg. His shot, score! Klingberg from close range.
Those guys are so good.
Oh, they are. Could be a magic act when they retire. 7-4, the Monarchs on top. 3:11 to go in the third period. This one is not over yet. We saw how quickly the Wolfpack could strike in that second period. And they have plenty of very talented offensive performers.
Whatever you say, Ken.
I beg your pardon?
Whatever you say. Certainly the Monarchs need to take it seriously, though, and they need to close this out.
Here comes Kempe moving in. His drive goes wide of Skapski. Kept alive by the Monarchs. Shore poking at it to Backman. Backman moving in. Backman has it knocked away by Lindbergh. Puck squirts free all the way down into the Monarchs' end of the ice. On it, Loverty. Planned away behind the net. Skapski stops it in the trapezoid, leaves it for Kostka.
Can't be not pleased as he comes off. He was displeased with the fact he didn't hit the net in that instance.
Now Harivik along the end wall in the Monarchs' end of the ice. We'll keep our eye on Skapski to see if and when Ken Jernander might decide to pull him. It is a 3-goal game.
Ooh,
at 7-4.
Schultz got away with one there. He got the stick in.
Now Bodie's drive goes off the end wall to Karam, covered by Berube at the near post as we look at it. With 2:15 to go in the third period. 7-4, the Monarchs on top.
Gotta wonder what Kenny Durander's waiting for exactly. With 2:15 to go in the game, he needs 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, they've got nothing to lose at this point. Why not get the extra attacker on right now with the 2:15 to go?
Offensive zone faceoff.
But Skapski remains between the pipes. Faceoff left wing circle to the right of J.F. Berube. Now it goes to Bodie. Bodie at the line. Throws it off the end wall. Gravel pokes it into the corner. Gravel with it, and he's able to chip it deep in the Hartford end of the ice, taken by Bodie. Bodie with it. Drops it off for Christo. Christo in his own zone being chased by Vandergulik on the forecheck. Christo sends it neutral zone to Patulny. Now shot by Mueller is blocked by Forbert. Mueller gets it back. Mueller still with it. Stolen away by the Monarchs. By Crescenzi. Now Shea with it. To Christo. Left side Patulny with it. Bounces one in and scooped up by Berube.
Changed direction a little bit as it came in on JF. Weird carom and bounce. Came in on the Monarchs netminder.
Minute 33 to go in this one. Monarchs Radio Network, sponsored by Manchester Boston Regional Airport. We'll be back at you on Tuesday night from the XL Center in downtown Hartford, Connecticut.
I'll tell you what, Ken, the Monarchs may be up 7-4 here with 1:33 to go, but Stutzy still doesn't seem in all that great a mood. Of course, talking about Monarchs head coach Mike Stothers, who was not pleased after Monarchs Game 1 performance.
Well, I think he'll be pointing at the fact that the Monarchs gave up 4 goals.
On 17 shots.
Now Klingberg with it. Klingberg bounces one in wide. Alberti sends it far side. Now a quick shot by Lindbergh goes wide. Lindbergh gets it back. Back out to the line to Shea. Sends it far side to Kostka. Shea with it. Left wing circle moving in. Shea has it knocked away by Bodnarchuk. Bod sends it neutral zone. Auger has it over the line. Slowed down along the wall by Kostka.
As Spurs head coach Greg Popovich often says, the successful coaches are sick puppies. Here.
And
never satisfied.
Never satisfied.
Pop was telling the story about how the Spurs were at the White House, and the president mentioned that they run a lot of backdoor cuts, and all he could think about was he hadn't seen a backdoor cut in a couple weeks. And that had him fired up for the next meeting with the team.
Now Kostka in his own zone for Shea. Fans beginning to stand and applaud their Manchester Monarchs as we have a stoppage in play with 19.5 seconds remaining. Monarchs up 7-4. Now Bissonnette and McElrath will get the appreciation from their teammates, and their sticks will be banging. Bissonnette getting his appreciation from the Monarchs bench. And the Wolfpack up, banging their sticks against the boards for McElrath. with 19 and a half seconds to go. You know, this is really a different Monarchs team when Bissonnette is really fired up and engaged and on the bench and playing for the Monarchs. It's kind of like when Shane Victorino plays for the Red Sox. They play differently.
They play with such a high level of intensity, and they have such a passion for what they do, and that's infectious. If this guy wants it so much, so should I.
Now Brown plays it ahead. Time winding down in this one. And the Manchester Monarchs have taken. Now we have another scuffle breaking out along the left wing wall. A melee going on after the horn had sounded here as a number of bodies along the wall. Gravel is there. Let's see.
Forbort was really the first guy. Forbort is in the midst of it.
Now
O'Donnell
Kempe
has been trying to get in, but he's been held up by the linesman. Kempe and him are kind of standing there. Augie there too.
Who else is there? Auger is there.
Crescenzi and Forbort was really the first guy.
Yep.
Forbort and Brown.
All happening after the horn had sounded.
Benches are really, really going at it right now. What?
And you're right in the middle of it all. Well, finally, it's all diffused. And I'm sure we'll get some penalties out of this, although it's pretty much all academic now. And the Monarchs come off their bench to congratulate victorious goaltender J.F. Berube, who is now 9-3 on the postseason. Did surrender 4 goals tonight on only 18 shots. 7-4, the final score. The Monarchs take a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Final, best-of-7 series, which will continue on Tuesday night in Hartford, Connecticut. We will keep it here for the announcement of the 3 stars by public address announcer John DeVoe. And I think we are pretty sure who the number 1 star is going to be tonight, and probably the number 2 star. Bissonnette talking with one of the linesmen as he leaves the ice. Monarchs win it 7-4. Mike Stothers and Chris Height just shook hands on the bench. Chris Ryan is standing by. He'll be chatting with one of the stars of tonight's game momentarily after we get the announcement from John DeVoe. And here we go. There we go with the Cinemagic stars of the game. Brian O'Neill picking up the number 3 star here tonight. Only with a goal and a couple of assists in the game this evening. His longtime friend, Sean Backman. The number 2 star with a pair of goals on the night and setting up Colin Miller. I should say setting up Nick Dowd for his goal tonight. And without a shadow of a doubt, the number 1 star, Michael Mersch, flipping the t-shirt up into the stands. And the next person Michael Mersch will chat with will be Chris Ryan. Chris, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ken. Joined by Michael Mersch, and I thought a much more well-rounded performance for the Monarchs here in Game 2. A lot to like about what you guys did tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We scored a lot of goals, got pucks and bodies to the net, and good things happened.
How have you done it? I mean, it's amazing what you've been able to do over the course of this postseason and the last couple of games. Obviously, it's hard work, but you continue to pound away. Your netminders talk about how difficult it is to play against you in practice, that you are always on them and that you're always creating opportunities. It seems like that relentlessness is what pays off.
Yeah, well, I kind of noticed this tonight that, as the season goes on, your line mates get more trust in you, and they're just kind of feeding me the puck right now down there, and good things are happening.
So 2-0. Monarchs head to Hartford for games 3 and 4. Obviously, game 3 is incredibly important for Hartford, incredibly important for you guys as well. And we started to see, obviously, a little hate building in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. when you're down in a game, you want to have a little bit of a push at the end to let the other team know that you're still coming. I thought we responded well, and made sure we took care of business in the last half of the game.
Mercy, thanks a lot.
Yep, absolutely.
Monarchs forward Michael Mersch joining us here post game. We send it back up to you, Ken.
Oh, I am just exhausted just watching this one. 7-4, the Monarchs win it over the Hartford Wolfpack, taking the series edge 2-0. The Monarchs have, they have taken the lead here in the series, but the next 2 games will be at Hartford Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And, of course, we'll have all the action for you Tuesday on the mighty 1590 WSMN, WSMNradio.com, as well as ManchesterMonarchs.com and AHLLive.com. And thanks again to everyone who tweeted tonight. We appreciate it, and thank you very much for listening. But stand by, because our post-game show is coming up in 2 minutes right here on the ESPN New Hampshire Monarchs Radio Network.